Yeehaw! It's Mr. Ed. No, it's not a talking horse. It ain't a talking horse, boy. But it's Mr. Ed. So we're gonna wait for some guests to show up. Wait for Cameron, possibly Mamba, Brendan. We got some stuff to talk about. Unfortunately, there's always something to talk about. Never a shortage of things to talk about. I'm going to talk about the Gamefly a little bit. I'm going to discuss that and why I recommend Gamefly for those of you who live here in the United States of America. And then we're going to talk about The Last of Us Part 1. It's almost here, just around the corner. One more day. And then we're going to talk about, obviously, this whole thing that happened between me and Paramount Pictures Studios. It's such a bizarre thing, and I'm going to talk about that once everybody's in the chat room and the podcast. So I'm just going to wait for everyone to come in, and then we're going to jump in and do this. I'm going to make sure I got everything here. Let me see. Testing 2 1 2 2 1 2 2 1 2. We good? What's up, Robert? How you doing? I'm doing good, man. Doing good. Been busy, doing some stuff. A couple of days. Tomorrow, I'm still going to be busy tomorrow, but I'll be back on Friday. And then we're going to jumpstart the weekend with a Last of Us Part 1 live stream on Friday all the way through Sunday. And hopefully I'll finish it by either Monday or Tuesday. And we'll do that. That's going to be on my green screen in my office. How you been, Robert? What time is it over there in UK right now? Oh, you're doing pretty good. Had to make some grocery run, all out of coffee. I know, man. Can't be out of the caffeine. You need the coffee, bro. Without the coffee, that's it. I don't know, man, if I can even wake up without a coffee, to be honest with you. Oh, you in the U.S.? Oh, I didn't know that. I thought you were in the U.K., United Kingdom. That's pretty cool. You don't mind me asking where you at in the U.S.? Are you Northeast or Midwest, Pacific? Or are you down in the deep South, boy? It's 7 o'clock. So that means you're in the Pacific. That means you're out there in the Pacific. Either North Pacific West or down Southern California. You know, Nevada, Arizona, Utah. Oh, Washington State. Nice. Hey, how you doing, Janice? How are you? Mr. Ed's doing good. Thank you for asking. Washington State. Nice. You're out there in the Sasquatch land. You're out there in the Bigfoot land and the Dogman land. Let me ask you something since you live up there. You know, in the Pacific Northwest where all of this, you know, Sasquatch, Bigfoot, Dogman, werewolf stories are, you know, coming out of. Have you ever seen anything unusual? Like, did you ever go camping out in the Pacific Northwest in the forest next to Mount Everest? Did you ever like notice anything out of the ordinary, or? I'm doing great, thank you, Janice. Doing good. Can't complain. I had to feed my horses today. They were hungry. Then we got to go on a horseback tomorrow morning, first thing, looking for the dog man, the werewolves. They're out there. They're out there. Uh, yeah. Oh, so basically, are you like in Olympia, or are you like around near Seattle? Like, it's up to you if you want to tell me. But I was just wondering if you ever went camping out there in the Pacific Northwest. Because I mean, everybody's telling me who's from that region there, like the stories about a Bigfoot and Sasquatch. Not so much the dogman. The dogman, it's mainly coming out from the Yellowstone, you know, which obviously it's in a different state, you know. But Washington State, it's mainly the Bigfoots, like a lot of Bigfoot stories, Sasquatch stories. He used to hike a lot and seen one footprint, man, and the thing was huge. No kidding. Interesting. Olympia area. The reason I say Olympia area because I have some cousins who live up there. I've been to Washington State, but only Seattle. I never went out like camping, even though I driven, past the mountains and next to Mount St. Helen and all that. But I never went camping. You know what I mean? But my entire experience in Washington State was mainly in the city, in Seattle. But I did hear stories, man. People talk quite a lot about that stuff, man. Have I thought about doing a camping video? Uh, Possibly, maybe, you got to remember all of this takes time, effort, and preparation, buying stuff and preparing. I don't know. I might. You never know. One of these days, maybe next year. I can never say never, but right now I have no plans currently. But maybe in the future, who knows? I mean, what's up, Steven? How you doing, brother? How you doing, man? How are you? I haven't seen a Sasquatch or a dog man yet, but you have seen a Bigfoot, right? The You told me like when you were out there going, didn't you say like earlier, like when you were out there camping, you've seen like a big footprint and it was huge and it had like toes, right? Like how many toes? One, two, three, four, or five, six? I think they said that the Bigfoot, for some weird ass reason, has like six toes. That's what I heard. It's good to hear, Steve. Um, I'm glad you're doing great, man. I figured I'd do this lazy Wednesday night podcast. I want to talk about the Gamefly a little bit. I want to talk about The Last of Us, and then I want to switch gears to Top Gun Maverick, Paramount Studios fiasco, and all that, which is a really bizarre, strange, bizarre thing with me filing dispute, and the way that dispute was being handled, it was really bizarre. And for some reason, they singled me out, and I don't understand why. To be honest with you, I don't know if Paramount Studios thought maybe I was mocking the movie because I had a profile picture with me in it, photoshopped as the Maverick, and they were like, okay, this guy's making fun of the movie or something. I don't know if it was a misunderstanding or could be. I think most of the cases misunderstanding. They didn't get it. They probably thought I'm some kind of a jackass or something or whatever. But we'll talk about that later because it's really kind of strange. And I mean, honestly, I don't really care at this point. I'll tell you my interaction with the Paramount Studios, but it's really bizarre, as a matter of fact. Uh, but I'll tell it later, not right now. Yeah, I saw that. Yeah, I've seen it. But he's doing little shorts. No one really cares, honestly. He has like maybe him and Katie hitting a like on it. No one really cares, to be honest with you. I don't even know what she said. I look at that time mark and I couldn't even find anything that she said what he's implying. I did sing, I was singing, but when I clicked on that time mark, she didn't say anything bad. I didn't see her saying like, shut down his channel or remove his channel or flag his channel. She didn't say anything. I'll have to look at it again, but I checked it twice already, and I couldn't find anything wrong. And if there was something wrong, I'm pretty sure YouTube would have remind me of it or something. They would have sent me a message on an email stating, okay, this part right here in the video, da 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 da, or whatever. So he made it up, though. I think he just made that shit up, to be honest with you. Yeah, look, the guy's so desperate, and he wants the attention. And even if I talk about him here, that's what he wants. Even right now, I'm pretty sure he's watching it. I really want to focus on him. I don't have much to say about that guy. He failed to apologize. He took a piss on everybody, took a shit on everyone. If he is a man enough, if he's maybe man enough, maybe he should stop screwing around and be a man enough and get real and stop joking around and then sincerely apologize to everybody. But we all know he's not going to do that. So, yeah. All right. So Cameron is here. Cameron is here.
Can you hear me?
Brother, I can hear you, brother. Welcome. How are you? How you doing, man?
How's it going?
You're looking great, man. I saw that Instagram, not bad for a 40-year-old man. Yeah, 44-year-old man. Not bad at all, man. Just keep working out, man. Keep doing your thing, man. That's it. You look great, by the way. Look awesome, man. Yeah, nice, I saw that. Nice. Yeah. And if Katie wants to look at you, well, they can look at you on the Instagram. Or if the ginger hog, you were there.
That was a picture. That was a picture from today.
Yeah,
fresh shave.
Yeah. Well, anyway, Stephen came in. He was just. I really didn't even want to talk about him, but he brought it in. This whole thing about Katie, not Katie, the Holly, and he said that Holly said something on the live stream when I was singing. That she said she wants his channel to be shut down or removed, and I looked at the time mark and I couldn't find anything wrong with it. I didn't hear her saying anything like that. So well, I think he's just making stuff up, man. He's just like trying to stir shit up. I think he wants the attention. This is what I was trying to tell Steve.
He's not getting any. Have you seen? Have you seen his posts? Have you seen his videos? Nobody's even his own people are not even commenting. He's got like 2 likes, probably him and Katie, or maybe him and his fake accounts liking his own thing, but none of his members are even commenting on any of the thing he makes. And I'm talking about his usual members, like that used to support him. None of these guys are watching his videos, and his videos are actually really, really stupid now. If you look at it, he's making these little clips that don't even make sense. So I would say the best thing you can do, and what's going to piss him off the most, is don't even pay any attention to him. Just let him be. Just let him fucking disappear like a fart in the wind.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely.
Because he wants people to talk about him so he stays relevant. And like I said, his biggest depression right now is no longer being in the circle, no longer being involved in the community of video games. And the fact that he's on the outside, that's what's driving him crazy. So if you really want to make him go crazy, Nobody pay attention to him. Just let him be. Like nobody, and that's gonna really, you're gonna see that's gonna really freak him out. So,
Exactly.
so
And
like I said,
yeah. Speaking of which, we're gonna switch the gears from
yeah,
Ginger Hog to actually I wanted to talk to you about the Gamefly, and I think I made a video today. I don't know if you've seen it or not.
yeah, I've seen
And
that.
one of the things that people always ask me, and even you actually was wondering, how does a Mr. 4K buy? I mean, is he buying all of these games? They're super expensive, $70 here, $70 there. $80 here, $80 there. Like, how does he get these games? And honestly, guys, this is all due to the GameFly. Obviously, I'm not that rich to be able to buy all these games every week. $70 here, $70 there. That'll be like a $400, $500 a month. No, actually, 400. That'll be like $500 a month. I wouldn't be able to afford that. So basically, what I did is a long time ago, Brandon came in on the chat and he heard me complaining about, man, I might even just quit playing video games. I might just do like a mobile games or some shit like that. I said, and then Brandon said the magic word. He said,
Gamefly.
Gamefly, Gamefly. I says, beg your pardon? Come again? He says, Gamefly, Gamefly. And I was like, what is the Gamefly? And then he started like,
guy pulling my leg.
Look, it's just a human natural thing to have a doubts, but that's why you got to keep your doubts inside. And then he told me, no, I have a Gamefly. So I looked into it. I was checking it out, and I was amazed the availability that they have. 2-day fast shipping, the discounts, the cut prices on the rentals that you have at home, that you can buy it and keep it for half a price, plus the coupons and the discounts. Technically, I will be able to buy The Last of Us Part 1 in December for like $5, or maybe maybe $1, $2.
Yeah.
And that's you can't beat that for a game like that, right? For such a AAA game like that, you can't beat that price. So this is one of the benefits that the GameFly has. And honestly, people didn't know. Even I didn't know. I used to know about it briefly back in 2008. I was a different person back in 2008, and I think I might have tried it once. And I was pissed off that they never had anything available. I was like, what kind of crap is this, dude? They got nothing available. I'm not going to wait 3 months to play a game, dude. So I kind of forgot about the GameFly. But then fast forward to today, 2022, I find out that this company, Gamefly, was bought by different investors. And now they have a warehouse in Pennsylvania, Pittsburgh, and then they have a warehouse in Los Angeles, California. So now they have a steady stock, restock of these games, and they have
day one games.
Yeah, and they have a great partnership with the U.S. Mail, which is great. So they can deliver it fast shipping, 2 days, super fast, and they do. And also they have this feature called the Game Lock, which I love. I love Game Lock. That means that I don't have to dream about God of War Ragnarok. Guess what? As long as I have my queue, which is your queue of the games that you are selecting to rent, as long as I have my spots available, I don't have to worry about it. I will have it on November 9th, guaranteed. It will be in my mailbox, 100%. Unless the mailman takes it, and that's a different story.
So when you rent the game and you get the game, how does it come? Does it come in like an envelope with the original case of the game, or does it come with like a GameFly generic case?
It comes with a GameFly barcode generic case because you're renting it, meaning you don't own the. It means it's like like a Blockbuster. You don't own any ownership of it. You're just renting it. Now, if you choose to buy it, what happens is then they send you the case and the whole thing, and then you can put it in. Free shipping, all that. You don't have to worry about that. So it's pretty cool, man. It's really awesome. And I've noticed when I clicked on the GameFly hashtag, I noticed that my name pops up now first, still as a Mr. 4K, because the algorithms now being confused. Mr. Ed, Mr. 4K, what's going on here? Like some kind of a weird transition. So I saw my name on that hashtag, like meaning that when it comes to Gamefly hashtag, you're gonna see me first out of everybody, like promoting the Gamefly. So that's a good thing, I think. That they're seeing that. I would love to be sponsored by them. I would love to help them out. Break the ice. The more people subscribe, the more people are using it, then the more money they're going to make, and the more money they make on their fiscal year, then they can go ahead and expand the business to Montreal, Canada, right? Other places. So that's really my goal. I'm just trying to help them out, because I believe in, if I see a good company, you know what I mean, Cameron, I will do everything I can to help them out. If I believe in something, like if I believe, hey, this is a great company, they're doing right by the customers, man, I'll do everything in my powers to help them out, to promote them. Even right now, we're promoting it, talking about it for free, because I like the company, So, and that's the only reason why, And hopefully they will get bigger, so that way they can expand to other countries across North America, Canada, and even Europe. Because right now, as you know, there ain't no joke, man. The price is going to go rising higher and higher. Even the price of console is going to go higher and higher. So right now, during this inflation, during this hard times, Gamefly, it's the most relevant to help you still be a gamer and enjoy playing video games. Oh, we got somebody else joining in. Let's see. There you go. Are you here?
Who is it?
Oh, it's you. Oh, I was just wondering. Okay, so I was just checking it out. No, it's just you. It's just you.
Okay, you can hear me, right?
Yeah, I can hear you. Okay. Yeah. It's all good. So that's one of the reasons why I'm really like trying to push this whole Gamefly thing, and I'm loving it, man. I already bought. Let me see, that Judgment game. I have it. I bought it. I even bought the Saints Row for like it was $29, and they sold it to me for like I have a little coupon, $5. I used it. So with the tax and everything, $26 for Saints Row. Now I own it.
Yeah.
I own it. I didn't pay $7. Now I own it. I was like, fuck, I'll keep it, because I want to have an extra spots, so I can have other games, So I was like, hey, $26, man, $26. I'm gonna waste it on a chicken wings or whatever, or I mean, anything, whatever, buying something, food, whatever. And I was like, $26, nothing. And every week, man, you get coupons and stuff like that. And but I want to explain something to people. I think this is very important, Cameron. You have to be active. This is the trick. The way they are evaluating customers, and this is very smart. Maybe some people might not like this, but I actually like this. They're doing evaluation on the customers. Who's the most active customer? And the one who's the most active, the one who rents the most and buys the most, that's our priority. And I like that, man. You know what I mean? Like, there's sense of a reward, right? What if some Joe Schmo has a membership, but he barely ever rents anything? Why they should focus on that person, right?
Yeah, it's true. Yeah.
So I like this.
Give the people who are using it often and who have and who's been longer more priority.
Yeah, and this is such a great business model that they're doing, man. I like this. I mean, I really can't find anything wrong with this company. I'm believe me, if there was something, I would definitely call it out, and that's why I'm kind of spreading the word and all of that, So anyway, shifting gears to oh god, here we go. The Paramount Pictures Studios. Oh God. So you know what happened, right? I don't know if you're privy to the whole thing.
Well, with the videos being taken down.
Yeah, I had 3 Top Gun Maverick
Yeah,
videos.
yeah,
Now, here's the thing. I have looked into this, and I have appealed, for them to review my videos. There's a dispute that there's such a pain you have to go through just to dispute. Now, the way it works, you're not directly talking to Paramount. It's the YouTube is like a referee, right? So you send a message, and then the YouTube relies the message to the Paramount, and then the Paramount Studios from Burnback, California, out there in Hollywood, then they send the message to Google, to the YouTube, and then the YouTube sends the message to you. So that's how basically it goes. It's not like you're directly talking to them, but the YouTube is like a referee that it's like relaying the message to them.
yeah.
So I had to go for like a few days back and forth with this nonsense. And I said to them, like, I showed the links, actually. I wrote like a huge letter. I showed the links of this one guy that has 3.2 million views. And even though I know he put the credits, all of that, the credits, Tom Cruise, Miles, whatever, all these actors, and directed by Joseph Kaczynski, Jerry Bruckheimer, Paramount Studios, Pictures, Skydance, etc., etc. All the credits, right? Jennifer Connelly, all that. Granted, and I know maybe that was my fault that I didn't put the credits there, but still, they could have easily told me that, hey, make sure you put the credits in there, and I would have easily put those credits in there on the description. So what I said to the Paramount, granted, fine, I should have maybe put the credits, but I was mainly focused on like showing people the technical aspect of viewing the IMAX enhanced scenes on the F-18 Hornets on a home projector 128 inch or above with a ViewSonic PX701 4K. And I said that was the whole point of that video. It wasn't like I was trying to play the entire movie. Like for 2 hours, like uploading the whole thing there for you guys to watch in IMAX. And I also send the links of the same scene called a test run that was in the movie. You know, when they're testing and they're he's testing all of the guys and all that. It's like 9 minutes, and you got the Who playing and all that in the background.
Yeah.
So that same scene, I showed them the YouTube channel, the link, and the guy has like 4,000 subscribers, like small channel, but somehow he was able to, jump into the algorithm, and he got 3.2 million views. I put that link, and even worse, this other guy was showing the end of the movie all the way till the credits. And I sent that link as well. And I said, can you guys explain to me? This guy here has got 3.2 million views, right? And he's showing exactly the same scene that I was showing. And then this guy over here is showing the end of the movie, which is a spoiler, right? That's a no-no in my books. And those 2 videos are not taken down. I even went as far to put some more videos on that dispute, where I technically said to the Paramount, I said, Paramount, I can actually not even buy this movie, because if I put all of these scenes together from all of these channels, I practically have seen the entire movie. If you put all of those scenes together, they're available. And I said, none of these scenes are being taken down. Why is it that I'm being the exception to that rule? Like, why am I being the chopped liver or whatever? And guess what? This is their reply. And this is why I was so pissed off. Because I went out of my way to type all that shit, to put all those TCs together and everything, to write all that shit down in paragraphs and put all the links and everything professionally. It took me 15, 20 minutes to do it. I went out of my way to do that. And 2 days after, this is their reply. This is what Google told me. Now, nothing to YouTube. There's not do with YouTube. YouTube told me, hey, this is, what the Paramount Studios is saying from California. Here's their message. Click on it. I click on it, and it says, we understand your concerns, but Mr. 4K Upscaler, you also have to understand that we, as a studio, reserve the right to this picture. Have a nice day. That's it. And I was like, look, I get it. They reserve the right. It's their movie. But I'm like, you're not going to address the fact what I just showed you, the evidence that there's other YouTubers out there putting these videos of almost the entire movie, but that's okay. And I'm not okay. So they failed to answer my simple question. Why me? That's what bothers me, dude, And then I made that video. Now, granted, my apologies to the Paramount Studios. That was totally unprofessional, uncalled for. I was upset. You gotta remember, man. It was a heat of the moment. I was upset. Now, granted, I shouldn't have said it. And I said, them to suck my, what, and this and that. And it's like the hell with this movie, whatever. Which is not true. I love the movie, but I was angry. I was pissed off because I just couldn't believe that everybody else out there is getting a green light. They got 3.2 million views. They've got everything. Now, if the problem was the credits, Cameron, I would have gladly go to the IMDb and just copy and paste the entire freaking credits. I would go to the Paramount Pictures Top Gun Maverick movie. I would get the entire transcript of the credits, even the stunt doubles, everybody. I would put the whole thing in there. You know what I mean? The music by Hans Zimmer, this and that, all of that. Kenny Loggins, all that shit. Executive producers, Tom Cruise, Jerry Bruckheimer, all that shit. I would have put in there. Skydance, Paramount, but Jerry Bruckheimer, fine. But they never told me. You would think they would have said, hey, okay, we're going to unblock your video under one condition. Put all the credits in there. I'd be like, no problem. Cameron, I'm like, all right, no problem. I'll put the entire freaking transcript for people to read. The music, production, picture studios, all of that, executive producers, cast, right? In association with the U.S. Navy, right? Fighter Weapon System School, Top Gun, all that, right? I would have put all that shit in there. But they never said that to me. What they said, basically, you need to understand, Mr. 4K Upscaler, we reserve the rights. I was like, yeah, duh, I understand that. But you're going to disregard what I just told you? So that's why I said double standards for some weird-ass reason, man. And I don't know why me, dude. Like, what did I do to the Paramount? I bought their movie on Amazon Prime. I'm subscribed to their Paramount Plus subscription. It's beyond me, Cameron. I mean, so anyway, you tell me if this is not a bizarre story, man. I don't know what is, bro. To be honest.
Well, I can't say for sure, but I can say I'm pretty sure that when you wrote your paragraph to them, more than likely they didn't even read it. More than likely what they sent you was pretty much a computer generated response where they take your name from, which is the sender, 4K, and they put a basic reply. I mean, I've gotten a lot of those on Instagram, on YouTube, and on Facebook when I make some videos, and sometimes I'll use like music, and I tell myself, well, it's 50-50 whether or not they Facebook or Instagram mute or give me a warning, right? And usually they'll give you an option that says, if you want to do the dispute, click here, and usually I always do the dispute because it's 50-50 that they're going to let you use it. But in your case, I don't think it really has anything to really do with the credits. I could understand. One second. See, I could understand that, like some bigger YouTubers, like I'll use like the guy you said, Chris Stuckman, who does the reviews. Like
Yeah.
I could see him, like movie companies letting guys like him use,
Slide
yeah, slide and use their clips because they know in a way he's like
promotional.
promoting, yeah, he's like
Yeah.
promoting their movie, kind of like how video game companies, they allow guys like Digital Foundry and certain YouTubers to, like, play the game. Once they lift the embargo, they can, these guys can show their gameplay, they can give their reviews and so forth. But the regular person, they won't allow it. But you said one of the guys had only 4,000 subscribers. So
Yeah. That's
so
the
the
guy that has like 3.2
yeah,
million. Just in a few days ago, man, 6 days ago, he's got like 3.2 million views.
yeah.
Uh,
The other thing I would say, like, that can make a difference with these movies also, and it's not always, but I've seen it in, like, when I put music, and I've seen music in my workout videos, is that also, like, the movie, these other YouTubers, maybe they didn't have the sound of the movie playing, so then that way the software that Paramount or the movie company is using can't detect, because usually the first thing they do is they listen for audio. And if the software picks up on audio, it'll know right away that it's a Sony Productions, it's this Productions. So maybe this other guy, he was like showing a review, but he was like talking over the entire
oh no no
movie,
no no no!
right?
This guy. See,
Yeah,
here's the thing. I'll send you the links of these things. These guys, they put the entire thing
yeah,
uncut, like with audio, high quality audio, the entire scene. Just
yeah,
like if you select a chapter, right? You select a chapter and you're watching the entire scene. They upload the entire thing. The other guy uploaded the ending of the movie with 25,000 views.
yeah, yeah,
So
yeah,
like they're not talking. I was talking actually. They're not talking. They're not reviewing anything. Because the fair use meaning you can talk about it, right? When you're
yeah,
showing the movie. So you're talking and you're showing the movie. When I was showing the Ed Harris, the Admiral, in the beginning, and they
yeah,
were flying, I was talking. So that should be a fair use. Now I cannot monetize it, sure, but that should be under the fair use. Um, this other guy was playing. I mean, you can search it right now, Top Gun Maverick, and you see that test run, that Top Gun Maverick, 3.2 million views, the
yeah,
entire scene with crystal clear audio, high bit rate, uploaded. And the other guy uploaded the entire ending of the movie, which I'm not going to spoil over here. And I don't suggest that people watch that because it's going to just screw up your entire experience. So that's what see. This is the issue, like you said, that there is no human reviewing this. I think this is one of the problems with the YouTube in general. Oh, by the way, hold on. What's his name is here? Brendan's here.
yeah,
Hi, Brendan.
Hello.
Hello, Brendan. So anyway, getting back to the to this thing, Cameron, I think one of the issues is they're using this automated ID content system, right? Copyright content system, ID content system. And it's a computer AI just taking it down and sending it to the studio, and then studio just having their own bots blocking it, put into place. So that way the Google and YouTube can protect themselves from unnecessary lawsuits from studios from Hollywood, right? Record label companies. I get that. But the issue with this, I believe, Cameron, for the content creators like me and others, is that there's never any human reviewing it. And this is the problem. If a human was reviewing my video, they would say, yeah, this is fair use. You're good to go. You
yeah,
cannot monetize it. You will not be able to monetize this video. I understand that completely because I don't own the rights to the movie. Sure. But you can use it as a fair use to talk about it.
yeah,
So I think that the issue is the lack of human. This is exactly what Joe Rogan was saying to on the Facebook, Mark Zuckerberg. They have this AI system in place because there's so many people on the Facebook, but the problem is there is no human, right, to
yeah,
look at the wrong and what's right, what's wrong. You know what I mean? And this is the problem and issue. And I think this is the reason why people like Quantum TV can get away with this kind of BS because they know that the human will never review it unless it's very serious, right? And they have to review it. But most of the cases, no human is reviewing it. You
No.
know, yeah. Like I said, unless it's a special case
It's all
where,
it's
yeah,
you know what when it comes to the copyright, it's very funny because sometimes I've like I've like taken illegal music where I shouldn't. Like I can actually take a Tupac or a Biggie like from the CD. I've ripped it onto my phone and I'll put that fucking song in 320 kilobytes per second bitrate audio on my
Ooh.
workout videos, right? And I'll upload it to Facebook and Instagram, and the video will be fine. Nothing will happen. It'll play. It'll be there forever. And then sometimes now I'm not even putting any fucking music, right? I'm not putting any music, but in the fucking background of the gym, there's some fucking song that I can't hear. But I'm like, so when you're watching the video, you can't even tell what song is playing because it's like far in the background. That fucking thing, YouTube or I mean Facebook and Instagram will pick up. And I'll be like, what the fuck? I'm putting the fucking high bit rate copyright song on my video,
exactly,
on Instagram and Facebook, they don't even recognize it. They just let it go. But then in the background, on like maybe 1 decibel sound, it's all fucked up in the background, and I can't even tell what song it's playing because it's so far away. The software from YouTube, from Facebook and Instagram, they will detect
AI,
that,
yeah,
and then my video, they'll say your video is muted in certain parts of the fucking world or whatever. I'm thinking, what the fuck? How come it picks up that nobody in the world can hear? In the background, some distant fucking universe background it's playing in the gym, you know in the fucking change room, but the sound that I'm putting crystal clear, that one doesn't get copyrighted. It's funny. But I guess that's just the roll of the dice nowadays. That's just the way it
remember one
goes.
of those when we had those podcasts? I
Yeah,
got copyrighted. I mean, the video is still up; it's not blocked. People still can watch it. But I got copyrighted, and my ads were removed.
yeah,
I think it's limited ads or something, or no ads at all. Because when me and you were talking, they heard the announcer from the MLB, from the Yankees, in the background for like a few seconds. And because of that announcer that they heard, that they picked up, that the content ID system, computer AI picked up, automatically demonetized my live stream that me and you had for like 8 hours. Remember back in the days,
Oh
2020?
damn.
Yeah,
yeah,
yeah. Because like you said, because of like a split second announcer saying something, like Yankees coming in on a third base, whatever,
yeah, yeah, yeah.
and
They
then
hear it.
they heard it, they picked it up, and it's a shit like that, man. But so many, man, it's not just me, everybody, man, from Angry Joe to you name it, man. This is why I'm playing the Saints Row without anything, like zero, no music, no nothing,
Yeah,
just
Brad, he actually says that he always makes sure that he turns off all of the music from the game because, I mean, he's a bigger YouTube channel. That's all he does is
yeah,
walkthroughs, and he says a long time ago he learned that he's got to turn off the music from the game completely,
you have to.
yeah, yeah, or else he'll get burned, right? But wasn't there a time where some of the video game companies, they were even like giving you copyright if you even like streamed their games? Like, wasn't there one time when they were telling you if you
Yeah.
stream
Yes,
right?
yes.
I forget what game it was, but I remember one time they wouldn't let you stream the game or some shit like that.
Yeah, I think it was
Nintendo.
Nintendo, the Zelda thing. Was it Zelda?
Yeah.
I don't remember. I don't know if it was Zelda.
Oh no, Super Smash Brothers. I think it was the Super Smash Brothers.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Super
Like they were
Smash
so
Brothers
anal,
and
yeah,
Zelda.
super anal about that. Yeah, yeah. But Nintendo has always been like kind of anal about their games, to be honest with you. Oh, Konami. Oh my God,
yeah,
terrible. Konami, they have no mercy. Let me tell you. As much as I love Metal Gear and all of that, but man, they have no mercy.
Yeah.
I mean, before I even started the game, while I was streaming that Guns of the Patriots, right away, I had like 10 messages saying the icon in the background and this and that, the monetization has been disabled.
Yeah.
Now
Oh,
the Konami will receive the information of this video and they can choose if they want to remove it or not. I was like, dude, I didn't even get a chance to turn off the music or anything like that. Like right away, and they saw some kind of a logo. In the beginning of a Guns of the Patriots, there's some kind of like in the RoboCop movie. There's some advertisements, or something, and there was a logo of something in the
Yeah.
beginning of the Guns of the Patriots, Metal Gear,
Yeah.
and because of that logo, that's it. Some kind of a game show and has a logo on it, and that's it. Right away, I was proper fucked. It's you have to prepare, man. This is the lesson I've learned. Before you start a live stream, you have to prepare. You gotta look at all of these things before you click stream. Because if you don't, man, you're gonna get hit by a copyright strike, demonetization, and all of these, all that jazz. You're gonna get hit by, and it kind of sucks, but I guess that's the way it is.
Yeah. That's
So
what. That's the thing. Yeah, it is. That's
yeah,
unfortunate.
did you hear the news today?
what happened?
Shadow.
Oh yeah, Shadow upgrade. That's right. When is it coming? October?
September 20th, you can pre-order it, and then October 26th, you get the new one. You get them
Nice. I'm definitely gonna check it out, man, to see how 3070
in
runs on
Canada.
my yeah on my Steam Deck.
Canada gets it September 15th.
Nice, nice. Look, man, I'm still amazed what I was able to do with a 3070, and I can only imagine how awesome that's going to be for Shadow on the Steam Deck. Because I'm planning on using a Shadow with my Steam Deck, and that's going to be even better to be able to use a remote PC to play all those games, on the Steam Deck. So that's pretty awesome, man. Pretty awesome news. I'll talk
Okay.
about it, probably next week or so, because I'm going to be busy, obviously, with Friday, Saturday, Sunday. The Last of Us. Shifting gears to The Last of Us.
I hope we
I've
get it
seen.
Friday.
Oh, we will. They already shipped it, so
Oh,
I'm pretty sure.
before we shift gears, I just want
Yeah,
to say that I finally watched Top Gun yesterday, and I thought it was awesome.
I
It
didn't see it
yeah.
reminded
yet.
and what I liked about the movie is that it brought me back to the 80s when I watched the first one, and I liked I liked the way that they
Nostalgia.
yeah, like they used the nostalgia. They didn't overuse it and make it cheesy. I liked the fact that they used some of those old music that made the first one great. Like
Kenny Loggins. Yeah, yeah.
yeah, like all of
Danger
the
Zone.
yeah, like
Yeah.
all of the music that they used in the original Top Gun to hit certain scenes that they used in this movie. I thought it was great. I mean, I thought Tom Hanks, he nailed the role. It was
Tom
completely
Cruise, you mean? Yeah,
yeah, Tom Hanks, Tom Cruise. Yeah, 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 yeah. I mean, that's what I tell people. Like to me,
yeah.
the movie, even though it's a fucking movie, I want the movie to be believable. So when I watched the movie, I believed it. I believed Tom Cruise was the Maverick. I believed Tom Cruise. He could do this mission based on his repertoire of what he did before. So the movie did a really really good job of doing that. And I like the way that Tom Cruise just came in and he dominated this new generation of pilots, and he showed them that, hey, even though you guys are the new breed of jet pilots, he is still the master, and he can still show these young guys a thing or two, and push the envelope. So I thought it was done really well. It was shot very well, acted very well. I'm glad that they didn't fucking throw in any fucking bullshit, religion, politics,
Yeah.
sexuality, gender bullshit in there. It was just a movie, just like the first one, just a movie about these great fucking pilots, and they had a mission, and they had to get the mission done at all costs. So I thought it was pretty good, and it's probably so far it's probably one of the better movies that I've seen in 2022.
Well, what I
So
really liked about this movie, it's such a perfect sequel because it's really this, this guilt that Pete Mitchell, aka Maverick,
yeah,
had to hold on to for all of these years. Because his Viso was Goose, his best friend, and then he made a promise to his wife, to Goose's wife, that
Meg
he would
Ryan.
make sure, Meg Ryan, he would make sure that her son would never ever even qualify for the U.S. Navy pilots, and this grudge he had to live with, just to make it right, and he just doesn't want to lose him. Like the only
Yeah.
reason that even came back to that thing by a weird chance is because of the Iceman, because the Iceman knew that his time's coming. He's dying. He had that throat cancer. He was dying, and he wanted him to let go and be there for him.
Yeah.
It was really emotional. That scene was very emotional, dude. I'll be honest, man. I cried like a fucking I was
Maybe.
fucking shedding tears, dude.
You know what I was I'm glad that because I didn't see the movie, so I didn't when I didn't see the movie, I didn't know what direction they were going. But in the movie, oh fuck, I don't want to give out too much
Yeah,
information.
we don't want to spoil it.
But I'm
Yeah.
basically glad that they included Tom Cruise in the main aspects of the movie. I don't want. It's hard. People probably don't understand what I'm saying because I don't want to give out what I'm trying to say. But I'm just saying
Which is a good
overall.
thing.
Yeah, which overall though, the movie to me was really good because nowadays when I watch movies, my expectations are low because I've come to learn that the people who watch movies nowadays they have low expectations for movies. So I realize that movie directors and movie producers and companies they don't really put a lot of effort into bringing good movies. So that my expectation was low, but pleasantly, Top Gun actually surprised me, and it's actually the first I would say big budget movie that I seen that I really that I enjoyed. So I can watch
Yeah.
that movie again. So very few movies I'll want to watch again. So good.
Yeah. People when they see this movie, they're gonna understand why this movie came in the perfect timing and why this movie it's regarded so much. But they have to see it to understand why that is. There was a lot of care and love put into this movie, and Tom Cruise even said the reason it took such a long time after Tony Scott, committed suicide. He was originally going to do the movie, but Tony Scott, may he rest in peace, Ridley Scott brother, he jumped off of St. Vincent Bridge in Los Angeles and he killed himself. After he died, then they have to kind of go back to the drawing board because Tony Scott had a totally different script that
Yeah,
has to do something with the drones and stuff like that. Like the pilots are, like a thing of a past. Even though in the movie there's a little bit of that, but I'm not going to spoil it. People can watch that. In the beginning, but then they had to go back to the drawing board. So Tom Cruise had to really take a great care, and that's why it took such a long time. For this movie to be made, to be done right,
yeah,
for them to go through training to learn how to fly, and also not on the F-18s, but on these P-51s or whatever, these small little jets, and then also to withstand the Gs, pulling all these Gs, Mach 2, Mach 3, Mach 4. They have to learn how to withstand that so they can say the lines and focus. So he put them through this training. The script was taken a great care with. The entire movie was looked at with such a great care, and that's why it's doing so well, and that's why it's such a great movie.
All time.
Yeah. Oh, by the way, I just want to mention this. I'm so sorry to hear that, Janice. Uh, you just find out that you've got a big C and it's stage 3. I'm so sorry. I believe me, I know how it is. My father been through the same thing with a colon cancer, and it is just don't give up. Keep fighting. But
That's what
I'm
my
so
aunt's
sorry. I
doing.
just want to say. I mean, I don't know you personally, but I just want to. I'm sympathizing with you because I know what it's like. Because my father's been through it, and I just want to say I'm so sorry. May God look over you and just keep on fighting. Just don't give up. Just keep pushing. I mean, that's the only the advice that I can give you. But I'm so sorry to hear that.
Yeah, we're all here for you.
And even Brendan's aunt, she's going through the same thing. So,
She's got.
like this is something that I always tell people is, and even your friends been going through that, Cameron. So one of the things I always say to people is, life is short, man. I mean, look at every day how quickly the life's being snatched from people. You could be in the wrong place, wrong time, or whatever. It slips away so fast. So this is why it's important to live a life every day as if it's your last. Not hold any grudges. Not worry too much about something you can't control. People worry too much about everything these days, and you can't live like that because you can't worry about the things you can't control. And just try to make the best of it. Enjoy yourself. Have a laugh. Laughter is very important, man. Smiling, laughing, having good time. That's the important part. Trust me. That right there is going to get you through all kinds of things. But at the same time, you're going to have a great experience being around people to laugh and have a good time. That's why I understand people whose names I'm not going to mention here, or individuals whose names I'm not going to mention here, who are miserable, holding the grudges and just, being those type of people. I'll never understand that about some individuals, that they choose to be miserable, and point fingers at everybody and then just live that kind of a life, right? And I'm sure you guys know who I'm talking about, but I'm not going to mention it here.
I'm not saying nothing. Nope.
Yeah. So one of the things I don't understand is that there's individuals, sadly, who are like that, and we can't save everybody. We can't help everybody. The only thing we can do is just try to be a good person and live your life the best you can. And those who choose to be holding the grudge, those who choose to talk crap about other people, that's on them. That is on them till they realize, that it's not worth it, that it's a waste of time. So now, granted, I have been in a lot of drama. I have talked to a bunch of other YouTubers back and forth, but we all have found a way to kind of like find a common ground and just kind of let it go. Even me and Hard Eight, we found a ways to kind of let it go and it's like let the past be past, and then move on. But unfortunately, there's individuals out there, not just on the YouTube. I have individuals, even in my friends circle, even in my relatives circle, who have that grudge and that judgment, judging other people and all that.
That's not good.
Yeah, but look, it is what it is. Unfortunately, those individuals, you just got to let them be. And if they figured it out, then they figured it out. If they never figured it out, well, then that's a tragedy in its own, that what's important, what's not important. Obviously you can change people. It's one of the things I learned about certain individuals. You can change them, and you're not supposed to change them. You're supposed to live your life. You can give them an advice. Hopefully they'll pick up on that advice. Hopefully they'll register and realize, but if not, you just got to let it go and do your own thing. But yeah, one of the things we learn about the life is it's short. Life is very short, man. Next thing you know, you're 40, and then next thing you know, you're 50, and next thing you know, you're 60, and then 70, and then you die. If you get to live to 90, consider yourself lucky. So some people, they just die in their sleep.
No.
I was watching
Ray Liotta.
Yeah, died in his sleep. There was this other guy who does a lot of camping in Alberta, Canada. Steve something, camping with Steve, and I like this YouTuber. I watch him a lot. I don't interact too much on his community and videos because he's got millions of views, so many people. Because he'll never gonna see that comment. So I just kind of watch on the sidelines and I share it and like it and all that. And I follow this guy. I watch his camping videos because they're so relaxing and so educational to learn how to camp and how to camp with the budget. You don't have to go too crazy and all that. Yeah, he's up in Alberta and all that.
What's his name on the YouTube?
Camping with Steve, something like that. And he's out there in the Edmonton city, out there in Alberta. So anyway, long story short, a few days ago, he made a video where his beautiful wife passed away. They went to the bed. Yeah, they went to the bed together. She was fine. Like right now, we're fine, right? We're just talking. No issues, no problems, right? And they went to bed. Both of them went to bed, and he didn't see any signs of her having problems or anything like that. Everything was normal, nothing unusual. They both went to the bed, and only one of them woke up. That was Steve, and she didn't wake up. She passed away. So what I'm trying to say is, the point I'm making here is, life is short, guys. It's not up to you. It's not up to me. We don't get to choose how long we enjoy this ride. That's above our pay grade. If you catch my drift. So that's why it's important to let things go. And this is why me and Cameron let it go. If people always ask me about that thing between us, I said, we let it go because we realize this is stupid. This is bullshit. We let it go, and here we are enjoying the life, moving on. And that's why it's important to let go and enjoy life, man. You know what I mean? And tell people you love them, because you don't know when you're going to have a chance to say that again.
Yeah.
Say to your nephews and nieces, to your brother, to your relatives, tell them you love them. Even if they don't want to say it, you tell them you love them. Trust me, that has some kind of meaning to your spirit, to your spirituality has some kind of a meaning. Whenever it happens after we die in the afterlife, and all that. God. Oh, so I don't know what happens. I'm just saying, whatever that is, afterlife, whatever that is, if you want to call it. I haven't died, so I don't know. So I'm just kind of speaking out loud. But if we're gonna, talk about in biblical terms, well then, yeah, afterlife, fine. So it's important to tell, because you don't know. This is what I tell people. I don't know what happens. We don't know what happens. We don't have the answers for a lot of things here, and we don't know. And that's why, because you don't know, and you don't know how long you're going to live, and what might happen tomorrow, what might happen today, what might happen next month. That's why it's important that you don't hold any grudges and you let it go. That's why it's important to apologize. If you know you screwed up, you did something wrong, apologize to those whom you know you screwed up to, and should apologize for yourself and for your spirit. And you should also tell those whom you love that you love them. Just tell them you love them. Love you guys, this and that, just love you.
Yeah.
And because you don't know, because you really don't know when it's going to be because you might not have an opportunity. What I'm trying to say, you might not have an opportunity to tell them you love them again. And you don't want to live in that regret. That's the worst pain. Yeah, that's the worst torture. That's the worst torture. You didn't get that chance to say I love you because of some bullshit ego, right? Or whatever, the thing inside you that you have that stopped you from saying, hey, man, I love you. Thank you. And I know this, whatever, we haven't seen each other in a while, but I just want you to know whatever happened to us in the past, I want you to know I love you, I care about you, and that's it. Just stuff like that. Out of the blue, you should say it, because you do not know if you're gonna have another chance to say it.
Yeah,
So I'm
look at the people
yeah
in 9/11 who just went to work that morning, and over 4,000 of them never came home to their friends and families, and you know what I mean. So you just never know. You can get hit just fucking crossing the road just to
yeah
go pick up your mail, or whatever. You can just go to sleep and have a something happen to you, and you don't have, you never wake up, like Ray Liotta, and he wasn't even that old. He was in his 60s or
yeah
late 50s, early 60s. So you never know. Or you can be outside, and next thing you know, somebody decides to do a crime, or drunk driver, and they wipe you out.
yeah.
You
Wrong
just
place, wrong time. Yeah, you
yeah.
never
So
know.
you
It's
know,
true. It's true, and or you never know, man. It could be some undetected rogue asteroid size of I don't know, Rhode Island. It just comes through and just
well, it wipes out the
demolishes
whole
it.
fucking world.
Yeah,
If we all go, then it's not that bad.
yeah. But that's highly unlikely. We have so many satellites out there, telescopes. I mean, of that chances of that happening, that NASA is not going to detect that. That's just, but it could. It could. You never know. I mean, but highly unlikely. But anyway, the point being is, like you just said, and it's just, and this is regarding to Janice, and I'm so sorry to hear that you're going through. So
She
that's why it's
says
important. That's
check
why it's
your
important.
check your IG. I sent you a message, just so you know. But yeah, I agree. I agree. Especially your loved ones. You never know what could happen. And
Exactly.
dying with regret is probably somebody, living with, not dying, living with, when you're dead, you don't give a fuck. But living with regret is one of the worst things that you can suffer as a human. So yeah, always tell your parents, your kids, I guess your
Yeah.
wife.
I don't have
Absolutely.
anybody. I have my family. That's it.
Yeah.
Well, that's the most important thing is your family. Yeah. By the way, I just looked at your message, though. I got it. Thank you, Cameron.
Yeah.
Appreciate it. So, I mean, regardless, I tell people I don't know who you are here on the internet. It doesn't matter. I want people to know in general that um, I've been there when it comes to cancer. I
Yeah,
dealt
me
with
too.
that,
Yeah.
so I know what it's like. When people mention the word "C," that's very personal to me because I have declared war on cancer a long, long time ago, and I hate that damn fucking thing. Uh, but and I just want people to know, in general, for people who are going through it, who are watching this, in the future, that I sympathize with you. I totally understand. I know, and you also have a friend, right,
Yeah.
Cameron?
Well, my brother he's okay now, but yeah, my friend right
Yeah.
now, he's going, yeah, he has stage 4 spine cancer.
Jesus.
So,
How's he
uh,
doing, by the way?
well, I would tell you that the chemo is actually worse than the cancer itself. But I mean,
Yeah.
they've given him 1 year worth of chemo. They've done stem cell replacement on him, and if he's lucky, he might live a year and a half if he's lucky. And but after doing all of these things, he was last July he was like 215 pounds. Now I seen him a few days ago. I went to his house, and he tells me he's like 130 pounds now. So, and that's all because of the chemo and the treatment for the cancer. He says like the cancer itself is not really doing anything. It hasn't really done him. It's the treatment. But he's at the point now where he's like, that's it. He's like, and it's you hear people say, "Oh, I'm not afraid of dying." They just say that because they know their life is not at their life is not at risk. But I
Yeah.
can see my friend. You can tell when he tells me, like, he's come to the realization that he's going to die, and he tells me that he's made peace with it. And when he tells it to me, I believe him. You know. And
Yeah.
that's why he says, "I'm not scared right now." Like, he's like, I just want to see my grandson and my daughter, one more time. But he's like, but like I'll hear people say, I'm a fucking strong guy. I don't give a fuck about, like, these people are just saying that just to be tough. But if death came at
Yeah,
their
yeah,
door, they'd be scared shitless, right?
yeah,
But my
yeah.
friend, because I know him so well, and I've seen what he went through with the chemo, and he told me, like, the government of Canada told him, like, this is the worst chemo. Like, we don't give this chemo to anybody, and they told him the only reason we're going to give you this severe of a chemo is that you have nothing else to lose at this point. But if you had another cancer, we would never give this to you, because this chemo, there's like a 90% chance that this chemo will kill you, right? And then when that didn't work, they told him the only resort that we're going to do now is we're going to give you stem cell replacement. That means you're going to go into the hospital. We are going to remove all of the remaining healthy cells in your body. So we're literally going to kill you, and then we're going to give you the worst chemo known to mankind in one day. And then we are going to reintroduce whatever healthy cells your body has. And hopefully, by a miracle, your body will accept your stem cells back, and they will be able to somewhat regenerate your body, so that you will have 6 months to a year to live, because they said at this point you're lucky if you can live 3-4 months. So he did all of that, and he told me when they did that fucking, and he has pretty good hair genetics. Even though he's 60, he has really good hair genetics. Like, he's got a thick head of hair. And he told me when they did that one treatment of the worst chemo, he lost his entire hair on his head, and he had a full head of hair when he went in that
Jesus.
day. He told me, and me and him, we talk we talk like hardcore. He goes, I lost all of the fucking hair on my head in one day. All of the hair on my dick, on my chest, on my armpits went completely bald. He goes, I woke up. Then he goes, when I woke up, all of the hair, my full head of hair, was on the pillow, right? And he's like everything was gone in that one day, killed it. And even now, like, his hair is starting to grow back, and he's a brown guy, so growing a beard is very easy for him. Now he's been home for a month after the stem cell, and he still can't even grow a beard. His face is still smooth. But they told him, that'll come back. But I could see now he's starting to get a little bit of stuff. But he actually told me he prefers it if his hair doesn't come back whatsoever, because he doesn't have to worry about shaving and all of these things. So, I mean, he still has like a good spirit. But he told me, like, and he tells me, like, he's like, there's I actually welcome death, because I don't want to live like this, right? So he's like, I just want to be able to see my daughter and my son one more time, and my grandson one more time, and then I'm okay with dying. Like, that's what he told me, because he says, if I have to live like this for the next forever, it's not worth it. He goes, I'm only hanging on because there was a glimmer of hope, but now that I know that there's no hope, you know I don't want to live the next year of my life being confined to my fucking bed, fucking puking every fucking day, and weighing 130 pounds, losing weight, and I can't even walk. Like, he's like, I'd rather die than to live like this. So, and when he tells
Yeah,
me that, I believe it, because I know what he went through, and I know how strong he is. Like, when I say strong, I don't mean physical strength. I know how mentally strong this guy is since I've met him. you know so, and if this shit like fucking broke him, and the shit he tells me, he's, and like I said, he lives alone. His daughter lives in fucking St. John's, Newfoundland, so she's like fucking 24-hour drive away from where we live. You know,
hmm
and so she can't see him. So the fact that he tells me like all of these things, like I believe it. But when I hear like a guy like, who's a fucking tough macho tells me, I'm not a fucking afraid to die. Yeah, you are. You're just saying that shit because it's not gonna happen,
of
right?
course, everyone's afraid to
Yeah,
die.
right.
I
And like
don't care how tough you are, how big you are. Everyone has emotions. Everyone has a heart. Everyone has,
yeah,
well, we all are humans, first and foremost.
yeah,
We have emotions. We have, feelings, and everybody wants to live. Life is too good not to live it. And I saw this in my father's eyes when he was 62, going through the stage 3 cancer with a colon cancer. He had done many surgeries, and he knew, like I can see it in his eyes. First phase, there was fear, where he was crying and was like, what happened to me? I
yeah,
can't believe this, and because there's so much he wanted to do and all that, and then he come to realization when he was like from 230 pounds to 110 pounds to 98 pounds. He was like 98 pounds at the very last minute. When he came to that realization, he knew, like, he could barely talk. He was like,
Yeah.
like he could barely talk, and he came to realization that this is it. This
He,
is the end. And that's going through the phase of fear,
yeah.
going like your friends that he went through, and then once you pass through the phase of fear and anxiety, and then you come to realization, I cannot live like this anymore.
Like
Like,
the only redeeming thing that my friend has is that before they did this stem cell replacement treatment to my friend,
yeah,
and they did the special chemo, they told my friend that this special chemo and the stem cell cost would cost it's astronomical money, but it's free in Canada. But they told him the only reason you are alive today with everything that we've done. They told him every cancer patient we've done this to did this level of chemo and this treatment that we gave you, they all die. They don't survive. And the doctors, I remember he told me that when he was doing this, they had to make sure, because they told him, listen, you're a 60-year-old guy, you have the worst cancer known to mankind. We would never financially invest this type of a treatment on a person like you. We do this to people who are like stage 1, maybe stage 2, stage 3, because there's
to
still a lot of
save
hope.
them. Yeah.
And usually if they're younger, we'll do it. But your age, and you have the worst cancer, stage 4 spine cancer. It's If you look at it, if you Google stage 4 spine cancer survival rate, it's like 5%. That's the lowest out of all the cancers. Now they, now they, so now I remember they had my friend on a conference call with 50, not 5, 50 of the top doctors in Canada, and they told my friend that the only reason that they are going to do this and invest this amount of multi-million dollar treatment on him is because his body is extremely strong compared to the normal man. And the doctor told him, whatever the fuck you were doing in the gym all those years. And if you know my friend, he does all this fucked up shit that everybody would tell you is wrong. But my friend had major spine pain, so he used to do all these fucked up training that if you've seen it, you would think it's dangerous and it's stupid and it's crazy. But he always used to tell me when I meet him, the reason I do this fucked up shit is because that stuff gives me worse pain than the spine problem. So when I do that shit in the gym and I do all that fucked up shit, I don't think about the pain that I'm having in my back. So people in the gym used to think he was stupid, it was crazy, and all this shit like that. And they used to fucking say, "Yeah, Tony, you're stupid. That's crazy. If people watch you, they're gonna get injured trying this shit." But he always did it because it made his body feel good. Now today,
Yeah.
I remember now today when he went for when not today, but I'm saying when he was doing the cancer assessment, all the doctors told him, "We don't know what the fuck you did in the gym." Right. And for years, doctors used to tell him, do not go to the gym because you have a spine problem. You should not even be lifting any weights. But he never listened to them because he loved lifting weights. But the doctors, they all told him, whatever you did in the gym, no matter how fucking crazy it was and how stupid it was, that is the only reason you are alive today with the cancer that you have and the treatment that we just gave you. So they actually told him that we thought you would be dead a year ago. You've survived more. And now the research coming in is showing us that you may outlive whatever we predicted, and it has to do with how strong your body is. And that's the only glimmer of hope that my friend says he still has. And he keeps telling me, Cam, the shit that we used to do in the gym, even though people might have think it was fucking me being an ego and stupid shit, that is what is saving me today. That stress that I caused myself is the only reason that I'm alive today. So fuck all those. He always tells me, fuck all those hippie motherfuckers who used to tell me I was crazy and I was stupid, because today I'm alive because of all that crazy shit we did in the gym. And but and there's also
Oh,
like
absolutely,
and there's
man.
also like
Because
willpower. Like he had.
chemotherapy doesn't work. It's the chemicals, and
Yeah,
these chemicals gonna just put you to the grave faster and quicker. What's
yeah,
gonna help you, honestly, is true. Is doing it naturally,
yeah,
working out, exercising, lowering the stress, lowering the fear, and operating on that higher vibration of positivity, meaning feeling good, working out, eating natural food, herbs, stuff like that, and just being active, constantly being active. That's what's
I
going to
mean,
really
and
help
like
you.
for you, and
It's
like
going to give you, how would I say this? Extend lifespan a little bit.
yeah. But also, like what I think is really important is now that he's done with the treatment is
Yeah,
you have to have something to want to live forward to come back, because now when
true.
you see when you see my friend, people in the gym always ask me, hey man, how the fuck is Tony, how's Tony? They all know he has cancer, but I'm the only one who sees him. They're like, yo, how's Tony? And I tell them, he's not like he was before. Like my friend Tony, he's 60, but he used to go in the gym and do the fucking splits and be doing shoulder press when he's in the splits, like shit like that. And yeah, and he used to go and hang upside down and lift weights hanging upside down and shit. He used to do all these crazy shit. So people in the gym, they know him. It's like the gym is like a family. So they always ask me, "How's Tony? How's Tony?" So I tell them, he's done with chemo, but he's like 130 fucking pounds, right? So when they hear that, they're like, oh my god, it's So, but my friend, when I see him, he tells me like in his heart, he tells me the only thing I'm gonna do now is I'm gonna come back to the fucking gym. Like that's his inspiration for living. Yeah, I mean he wants to see his grandson and his daughter, but I mean that's they live away. But on a daily basis, he tells me, Cam, every time I wake up, I walk in, I look in. He lives in a 2-bedroom apartment, and one of the bedrooms he turned it into like a little gym, right? That's where I used to
Hmm.
train during the lockdown. And he told me I make sure I wake up every morning and I go and I stare at that fucking gym at the weights, because that's my motivation for coming back. He's like, I don't give a fuck about anything else. My motivation is to come back in the fucking gym and train again. So he's like nothing else in my fucking life matters. I don't give a fuck about like getting married at this point. My
Yeah,
my daughter's grown up and she's married. She's got her children. I don't give a fuck about anybody. The only motivation I have right now is, I want to get back to come back in the gym, and because I remember how I was before this. So I tell people, regardless of what it is, you have to have some kind of an inspiration to want to get back to. You know what I mean?
yeah.
Like
To
if,
move on,
yeah.
to
But
move on.
if you have nothing in your mind, you're gonna be defeated. You're gonna
Yeah,
be like,
psychologically.
yeah, I got nothing to
Yeah.
live for, so fuck it. I don't. I'd rather just throw in the towel, right?
And
But my
I tell people, like, when it comes to like being active and working out, you don't have to be a bodybuilder. I tell
no,
people,
no,
ride a bicycle,
yeah,
go up and down the stairs, go hiking, be active, go swimming. There's so many different activities you can do, but just be active and be out there with people. Two things: be active, exercise, play volleyball, this or whatever, go hiking, riding a bike, and then also hang out with people who ride a bike as well. And
yeah,
then every morning you guys can go ride a bike or go jogging in the evening with the same people. And then find a social circle that's very positive, that's positive minded people, that they have a positive mind, not a negative mind, good attitude. That's going to help you big time. Positive people, stay away from negative people, and then be active with these positive people. And they're gonna feel you. They're gonna make you feel good. They're gonna fill your heart with happiness, and they're gonna boost your what you call it, your enthusiasm to
yeah.
do things, to get up early and do things. We're social creatures. Look, I used to think, oh, I can. This is just my opinion. Again, everyone, each to its own. I always say to people, I'm not here to judge. Each to its own. I used to think, you can do this alone, and technically, I could, and I did to a certain period of time. But at the same time, you're like, we're social creatures. Like I hang out with Moses. I did today, and then I hang out with his friends and my brother's friends, and I go to see my nephew and nieces. I bought my nephew a big Batman robot, and he loves it. It was his birthday. He jumped on me and gave me a hug and said, Uncle, here, let me show you something. With this Batman and all that. It's like a Batman robot inside the bat. It's like a Batman robot and then there's a Batman inside of it. He's controlling this big mech, this Batman mech. It's a Batman mechanized robot controlled by Batman, and he loved that. And I was, hanging out with my brother, and then after that, I was, with my nephews and nieces, and then spoke to my sister-in-law, spoke to her father about some stuff, and then I went to hang out with Moses and his friends. Went for a swim. Went to this little bar called the Denny's. Denny's at the beach by the pier. We went there. I had some red lobsters, some shrimps, and and then we went out for jogging and all that. Look, you have to have something in your life that gives you a reason to move. If you are if you are sitting in a cocoon and you're not social, and all you do is just looking at the negativity that's on the internet, looking at the news, well, you're going to go crazy. You're going to lose it because you're thinking that it's like a purge out there, or it's some kind of apocalypse out there, because you're being bombarded by negative vibrations. And these negative vibrations can have a huge effect on your heart, on your heartbeat, on your anxiety, on your psyche, all of that stuff. And this is why it's important to live a healthy life, meaning positive life. Be around positive people, take care of your body, careful what you eat, careful what you drink, cut or go on a certain diet, right? Learn to adapt to a new diet, and have a routine. Build yourself a routine. Okay, I go to bed at this time, wake up at that time, and then go to work and work from here to there. And then this is my window between 4 o'clock and 8 o'clock, 4 hours to hang out with my friends, do some workout, and do other activities, and then come back and do this other thing. It's like Arnold Schwarzenegger said, there's always time. You got 24 hours, plenty of time. Even Jocko Willink said, Jocko Willink, he wakes up 4 in the morning, the ex-Navy SEAL, U.S. Navy SEAL. And even he said, there's always time, but you got to discipline yourself. When he says discipline, he means work on your schedule. There's a time. There's always opportunity of time, for you to do what you need to do to stay healthy, and unfortunately, some people are not doing that. It's kind of sad to see that. Like, all they do is just, they dedicate their entire day talking about other people, right? Or making videos about other people, right? And then their health is deteriorating. They're not taking care of themselves, and they're just talking about, others. And that's something I don't understand about some people, is that, like, they know they're not in best of shape. They know that they have a problem, health problem, and then all they do is they just sit all day long, drinking all that stuff, and then just dedicating their entire day. There's a lot of people like that. Trust me. I don't want to make this. I don't want to talk innuendos. Just make one specific person, but there's a lot of people who do that shit, and it's pretty sad to see that when they don't have to do that.
See, when it comes to living along, to your older years, I find people who live old, it's usually they have habits. There's always anomalies where these people just have great DNA, and no matter what they do, they're gonna live long. Like I seen this woman in the Toronto paper. She's 122 years old.
Yeah.
Yeah, and she says, like, her secret was she smoked a pack of cigarettes a day, and she ate 2 pounds of chocolate every 2 weeks, and that's her
Jesus
secret.
Christ.
But like I said, the research would show that if 99% of the human population did that, they would die early. But there's always an anomaly. Like, we all know that guy or girl who smokes like crazy and they live to be old, right? But that doesn't happen for the majority of the people. But
that's a special occasion.
Yeah.
Special cases.
Well, what I've learned a long time
Mutants.
ago, like what I've learned a long time ago, most of the people who live to be older, and there's a difference between living to be old and having to take a shitload of medication just to to wake up and do shit. And there are people I've seen who live to be old, and they're still healthy. They can still be active. They can still do what they like. Obviously, it's going to be modified because of their age, but they're still doing it. And I say, what? And I used to ask myself, how come they do it when I see a lot of people dying in their 60s, but this motherfucker lived to be 80, and he's still fucking surfing, or he's still skiing, or he's still doing. And then I've come to learn that the people who tend to live healthy and long without really relying on medication and drugs just to maintain a life are people who have developed a healthy habits from a young age, right? Versus because the majority of people do not develop healthy habits. Like, if I tell you certain things, you may think it's not normal, because the normal today is for people to eat junk food, people to use sugar. But see, when I tell people I have never eaten a taco in 30 years, people think that's crazy, right? Or like, if I tell people I haven't ate a McDonald's burger in about 25 years, people think that's crazy. But to my circle, that's normal. That's how everybody is, because we're taught, you got to make your own food. It's healthier to make your own food, right?
You
Chicken breast
adapt
and
to
rice,
it.
right?
Yeah,
So
adapt to it. Yeah.
yeah, and when I tell people, when I tell people I haven't used sugar in more than 10 years, people think that's crazy, right? But to me, that's just normal. So like the other day, like a few weeks ago, I tasted a chocolate, like I tasted chocolate, and it made me barf. Like the sweetness, my body didn't like it, right? But but so like I used to think, how do these people live older, whether it's a man or a woman, or even that guy, what was his name, the juice guy who made the juice, Jack LaLanne, right?
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
Oh
he was
God.
like he was
I
like
remember.
96, 98, and he lived long, right? And when you seen him making those commercials, he was a very healthy guy who was in his mid 90s, right?
Exactly.
He looked like he could still have sex at that age, no problem, right?
I'm
And when I
pretty sure
learned,
he did.
yeah, yeah, yeah. And what I learned was these guys, they had healthy habits from a child growing up. So, for example, I learned that, for example, if you a guy or a girl who goes into the army, forget what you think about the army. Usually, they learn a discipline, right? You'll notice that these guys, they learn how to make their bed. They're taught that they have to wake up early, make their bed. They're taught that they need to keep their body in a certain physical condition, right? Same thing with a martial artist, same thing with the guy who works out in the gym, same thing with a cyclist. So what happens is, because you're training for something for so long, that these are habits that become part of you forever, and you can't change it. It's like my friend Ricardo, he does MMA. So even though he's like in his late 30s, right, and he doesn't compete like he used to before, he tells me all of these habits that he learned when he was in his teens and 20s, that's just part of his daily routine now. He can't ever turn that off, and he's teaching that to his three daughters, right? So like you wake up, you got to do certain types of training, like certain types of things with his hands that he does, so that his hands stay strong, right? But you don't realize that as you get older, these habits that you form are actually helping you, versus somebody
True.
else who like
True.
I like people who wake up nowadays, they probably don't do nothing. Like, you have the day off. What do? You wake up, you don't know. When I wake up, I'll do my cardio. I'll go do my hour, 2 hours of training. You're like, these are habits that I can't turn off. Like, people might think it's a chore, but to me, no, that's just part of my habit.
And
Like
here's the sad
punching my
part,
food.
Cameron.
Yeah,
Here's the sad part. People can do this. They can change. It's not going to be easy. I understand that.
yeah,
Nothing is easy in the beginning. Learning a new trick, it's not easy. Learning how to fly an airplane, it's not easy. But once you master it, then it's like a second nature. You just have to adapt to it. Once you adapt to this new program, to this new food log, to this new discipline of activities, once you have that schedule, right,
yeah.
then it becomes natural. It's like a second nature.
It's like if
Very
you do a,
easy, you
it's
know.
like if you're going to work and you're doing a specific job, like if you're an accountant and you've been doing that job for 20, 30 years, even when you retire, that job is always part of you. Like, you're always going to be good with numbers. You're always going to be able to see finances, in a different perspective than everybody else, is because
Yeah.
that became part of you, right? And it's the same thing when I see these people who live to be old and healthy and they're still active. I've realized that these people have developed habits that they've been doing, that made them live like so long and so healthy. Like usually UFC fighters, they've developed healthy habits. You'll see these guys we're just gonna use Conor McGregor. Forget what you think about Conor McGregor, but Conor McGregor, he has developed a certain type of training routine that he does. And I guarantee you, when Conor McGregor's in his 50s, 60s, 70s, he will still be doing this because that's part of his life. He can't ever stop that. Same with The Rock. The Rock is one of the richest humans in the world now, celebrities in the world, but he works out every single day. He tells you 4 o'clock in the morning, he's in the gym. He never misses a workout. And it's not that, he can't, it's not that, he has to do it. He can't stop. It's like me telling you to wake up and not shower or wake up and not brush your teeth. No, this is just something you're going to do instinctively. Right?
And there shouldn't be any excuses. I always tell people why people always making. I said, you don't have to have your own gym.
Yeah.
You don't have to build your own gym. I said, you can just go out and start jogging, right? Around your house, around your block. Go up and down. Okay, you got a parking lot and there's a sidewalk. Keep doing that. Go up and down, up and down, up and down, up and down for about 45 minutes and you'll see. Okay? So do something. Go into swimming. Go swimming. Buy a bicycle, one of those running bikes.
Yeah.
I'll put it in the balcony and just ride it. Listen to some music and ride it for like 46 minutes, If you make an excuse, then you're going to make an excuse for everything. Then you're never going to do anything. So what's the point of living then? It's like, I know it's kind of harsh to say this, but then like, what's the point? I mean, if everything's going to be excuse, I don't have enough. Well, yes, you can buy it. I cannot buy this. Yes, you can. All it takes is a little down payment money, get a mortgage, buy that house. Come on, you can do it. I don't want to invest into this. Yes, you can. All it takes is a loan from this, whatever, bank, and that's it. Start business. Like anything else. But the problem is people are always, Cameron, and you hear this all the time. And I was talking to Moses about this today, and even my brother. People are always looking for an excuse.
Yeah.
Oh, I can't do this. Nah. Yes, you can.
And you see what happens is when you make it. I always tell people. Luckily for me, when I was a kid in my late teens, I remember this. I remember this so fucking well. I tell people I meet for the first time in the gym the story. I remember I was outside of the arcade, right, where we played Street Fighter. I was like 18, 19 years old, and my friend Nick, we've been friends for like 35 years now, right? He's a black guy from St. Vincent. So we were outside of the arcade smoking a blunt, and I remember I was smoking it and he passed it to me, and that same fucking day, he was telling me that his girl Sarah was pregnant with his first daughter. Ended up being Alyssa. So I remember I was sitting there, and across the street there was like some little shitty gym that everybody in the neighborhood knew, the shitty gym. And I remember I looked at my friend and I said to him, "Guy, today is the last day I'm gonna be a fat guy. I don't want to, because back then I was obese, 243 pounds, 43-inch waist." And I looked at him and I said, "Guy, today is the last day I'm going to be a fat guy. I will no longer be a fatso after today." And the very next day I went and I joined that gym. Now, even though for the first 6 months or 8 months I did everything wrong, I stuck with it. And I became consistent. I ended up losing 80 pounds, even though it was all the wrong way. Regardless, I lost 80 pounds, and that became an addiction for me. Now, people might think addiction is bad, but for me, that was probably the best addiction that was positive in my life.
Healthy addiction.
It kept me away from a lot of bad shit that my other friends were doing. That today, I tell people, if I never started then, I probably would not be the same person today. I probably would be fucking obese. I would probably be like you fucking hear. I had high blood pressure, high cholesterol, complete opposite of how I am now. Right.
Exactly.
And I always tell my cousins, my cousins are like a decade younger than I am, and they have all of the problems that I don't have. And I tell them, if you think it's hard for you now in your early 30s, wait till you're in your 40s. It just gets harder. It doesn't get easier. Right now, that's what I'm saying. For me, everything is easy because my body, I still feel like a 20-year-old guy. But I told my cousins, if you guys are feeling so bad now, and you keep thinking, okay, I'm going to start down the line. Every year you wait, it's going to become harder and harder for you to lose the weight, or you're going to wake up and you're going to have back problems. Your back problems are not going to get any better. Your back problems are going to get worse. The time goes by. So if you don't address these problems that you have now, what do you think is going to happen when you get to be my age, when you're in your 40s? It just gets worse, right? So I don't want to just live to be old. I want to live older.
To be
But
healthy.
yeah, but not only that, but I want to be able to bang chicks even when I'm in my 70s. I want to be able to fucking, train. I want to be able to be healthy. I don't want to just be a guy like I see some of my family. Okay, yeah, they're in their 60s, 70s, but they're taking like fucking 10, 15 fucking pills a day. They got back problems, they got knee problems. I don't want that shit.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
to me, just living off of pills is not the solution. So I realized that at a young age that, hey, I have to change. And luckily, because I changed at such a young age, now 20, 25 years later, this is just like a routine for me. It's like I realize if I drive a car, I got to put gas in it. When the meter is low. So it's just habits now. It's not even like people tell me, don't you find it hard? Don't you need motivation? I said, motivation is for losers. I don't need motivation. It's like me telling you, Ed, if I told you tomorrow, wake up and walk down the street and you're going to get $500 just for walking down the street, do you need motivation to do that? No, you're going to do it.
No, I'm gonna do
Exactly.
it.
So I told my
Exactly.
friends, if you need motivation, that means you don't really want to do this in the first place, right? If yeah,
Exactly.
if your kids are graduating from school, do you need motivation to go to their fucking uh uh do you need motivation to go watch them graduate? No, you're gonna do it because you want to do it, right? If
Think
you're
about it.
yeah,
Think about
if
it. Why would you need a motivation
yeah,
to
like
have
like
a good life,
yeah.
to stay
Yeah,
healthy?
like, do you
This
need
is
motivation to eat fucking
beneficiary.
pizza? Yeah, like, do you need
Yeah,
motivation? Like when you're stuffing that fucking pizza in your face, or you're sitting at home fucking watching Netflix and you feel sickly. You don't need motivation for that. You're just doing it because it's easy, right?
exactly.
So you have to think of it this way. It doesn't have to be lifting weights. It could be anything in life. Even if you're going after, even if you want to be good at a job, whatever. You should think, I need motivation. No, you should just realize that, hey, you need to put these things in place for that outcome to happen, right? And it's going to happen one day. If what's more important is, I always tell people, motivation, that's something that people tell you as a gimmick. Okay, motivation, people who need motivation are a gimmick. What will last is hard work and being passionate about something
Yes.
that you like, right? So if you find something that you like, you're always going to be passionate, and you know what, it's going to be easy it's going to feel easy for you to do
You
it
know,
because you like doing it.
Arnold Schwarzenegger, even Sylvester Stallone. They have their own little vlogs, their own channels,
Yeah,
and there was this one little short video on the
I see that.
YouTube
I seen
Shorts.
it. I know what you're going to say.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, but not that's the one with the Sylvester, but the one with the Arnold, where
Yeah,
he
yeah, I
was
seen that. Yeah,
asked. I said, "Why are you working out?"
yeah, yeah.
I said, "Why don't you stop working out?" I says, "Why would I stop? The hate, this is the age has nothing to do with it. So why would I stop drinking water? Just because I'm 70, I'm going to stop drinking water. Just because I'm 70, I should stop inhaling the oxygen. What kind of questions are these? Why wouldn't you stop working out? I said, I'm healthy. I have a heartbeat. I'm working out. Why? That's like saying, why don't you stop eating food? Why don't you stop
Right.
drinking coffee? Why don't you stop having sex? Why should you stop? The whole idea is for you to continue because you're alive. You are alive right now. So why would you want to stop? He says, when I'm dead, I'll have plenty of time to stop.
That's true. Yeah, I
I
seen that. Yeah.
love his fucking listen. Say what you want about Arnold. I always tell people, love him or hate him, but he's the inspiration of all inspirations to me. Honestly, in my opinion.
Yeah,
But
yeah,
he's
yeah, yeah.
right.
No,
He's
he is.
absolutely right, man. He speaks common sense. Like, and you can argue with his argument. Like
Yeah.
you can. He's right. It's like because I guess it was a intentional question. Like, why don't you stop working out? You're in your 70s. So what's this supposed to mean? I should stop working out because I'm 70. What's this supposed to mean? Are you gonna stop eating the sandwich because you're 70? Are you gonna stop, having a sex with your wife because you're 70? Are you gonna stop swimming in the pool because you're 70? Are you gonna stop watching movies because you're 70? What is this question? It says, I don't understand this. I'm gonna keep on working out till I drop dead. And he's right, man.
But also, what I find too is that the generation of people nowadays, they are less active, and that's like from every type of activity versus me growing up in the 80s. And when I grew up in the 80s in Montreal, Canada, you were not allowed to stay at home and play video games. I don't think there was even really video games at certain points. Like I remember, but
Yeah, yeah.
I remember if you did not play on a ball hockey team, you would get beat up.
Something's wrong with you.
No, you would get beat up by the other kids. If you were like a fat kid and you didn't ride a bike with your little neighborhood crew and you guys had like a ball hockey team, you would get beat up. So you were not allowed. Like, so that's what I'm saying. Like, even though today people be like, oh my God, that's abuse. No, that's called
Cameron. I was always outside. I remember since I was a little kid, man. I was always outside.
Right.
My parents would tell me, okay, come home by 9 o'clock, and that's it.
Yeah.
And they knew my ass has to be home by 9 o'clock. But dude, I was always outside. I was always running around, doing stuff and doing all kinds of mischiefs with my friends, growing up. But I was always active. Always active.
Yeah.
Always.
That's the difference between then and
now.
Yeah. You know what? Even in the 90s, I was very active with my friends at that time. But I'm saying, like, the generation now, if I tell them, why don't you take your bike and go riding, they got a whole fucking list. Oh, I got to go to Walmart. I got to get myself a helmet. I got to get myself knee pads, elbow pads. They got a whole fucking bucket list. It's like now riding a bicycle, it's almost like fucking taking a trip to fucking a different country where they have to have like, okay, I got to make sure I got my checklist. I'm like, no, just get on the fucking bike and go for a fucking bike ride. It's not hard. You don't have to have, make it like it's a fucking chore. You know what I mean? Like, or, like, when was the last time you seen kids outside playing ball hockey? It doesn't happen anymore. Right?
Do you even see anybody playing outside anymore?
No, exactly, yeah.
No. And this is what's really that's why I'm not shocked by any of this, to be honest with you. Yeah. This is the issue why there's so many mental health problems, why we see all this craziness happening, on the news, right? There's a reason for that, because people are not living healthy. The kids are not healthy, especially going through puberty, right? When their hormones are skyrocketing, right? They're looking for something to mate, because that's the nature. You can't fight nature. So and they're being put inside by their overprotective parents, right? And they're telling them what to do. No, you're gonna stay here. No party, no girlfriend, no nothing. Sit here and play the Fortnite, because you're under my roof, some shit like that. And then that they become psychologically, mentally unstable, because and then they watch all this stuff on the internet and all that crap, and that makes them even more mentally unstable. And I think this is the issue that not many people talk about, as to why so much crazy shit going on, especially with the teenagers and kids, right? Because they're supposed to be experiencing life, good, bad, ugly, all of it, right? You fall down, you learn. Okay, don't do that again, right?
Yeah.
You do something stupid, you learn. That's part of growing up. That's part of learning process. But this idea to keep kids in some kind of cages, if you will, let's call the homes the parents are putting them on like a cages, right? Like a prisons, and just let them play Fortnite all day long, drink all that sugary 1,000 calories G Fuel shit. Come on. No wonder that they're so obese. No wonder that they don't have any friends, that they're loners. No wonder that the mental health crisis has gone through the roof. Because they're not living a natural life. That's why you have a nature. Mother Nature knows the best. Now, of course, you want to tell your kids, hey, be careful out there, use your brain, don't be stupid, don't be an idiot, right? You're supposed to tell them that. But this idea that parents have these days, where they think that they can control everything, you're not in control. Okay? You got to let them be. You got to let them find out on their own ways. Okay? You can't control. This is a thing that drives me crazy about these parents. They think that they can control their kids. They want them to be what they want them to be. That's not how it works. It's not like a program. You can program them to be what you want them to be. They're their own individuals. They will have their own likes and dislikes. They will find what's good for them, and what's good for them might not be good for you. You might not even agree on it. But that's why they're every and each person, it's its own individual. Same goes for the kids. They are their own individuals. They're gonna have their likes and dislikes and preferences, But these clueless parents out there, these overprotective parents, don't seem to understand that shit, man. It drives me crazy, man. Yeah, I see it every day. And I think that's one of the biggest problems. Actually, I had this conversation with my brother today about parents being too overprotective, telling kids what to do. I said to my brother, you cannot force your kids to be what you want them to be. You can try to show them something and say, hey, you might have an interest on this, let me show you this. But they're going to find what their interest is. They're going to discover what they like. That's why each of us is a different person, and I honestly believe that the parents these days, Cameron, are clueless. Honestly, they're clueless. They're clueless. They have no idea what they're doing, and they're raising. I don't know. They're raising kids just like, let them play a video game. Well, what they're going to learn by that? Just playing video games. What they're going to learn by just giving them the gadgets to keep them inside? What they're going to learn? They're gonna think they're part of some kind of Area 51, a testing lab or some shit. Like they're gonna feel like they're part of some kind of a prison. You can show your kids, this is what you don't do, and this is what you do. This is right. This is wrong. You can show them that, but you can't dictate to them to be what you want them to be. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I think this is a mistake, the way parents are raising their kids. Yes, you should always tell your kids, this is right and this is wrong. You can tell them all the time, and it's going to stay inside their head. They're going to remember that. But they need to go out there, and they need to find out what growing up it's all about. It's like that E.T. movie. Remember, they all go out with this E.T. and they're out there, or Goonies, in the movie Goonies, they're out there. Yeah. Sure, they're taking risks. Yeah, there's some dangerous situations, but that's the adventure. That's the part of experience, growing up, right? What kind of experience the kids are going to have these days? I played a Fortnite when I was 5, and when I turned 18, I was still playing Fortnite.
Yeah.
And Minecraft.
Yeah. You know what I mean? And people don't want to hear this, especially these yappy, unindulgent, overprotective, super overprotective parents.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was gonna say movie stars too. Overprotective.
Yeah, well, those two. Well, what they did with Corey, remember?
Yeah.
The unindulgent parents who are just simply telling them this is how you should be. Not everybody wants to be a movie star. Not everybody wants to be. Let's say you're a hockey player, and you want your kids to be hockey players. Maybe they don't want to. Maybe they don't like hockey. Yeah. And I'm sorry that you're a superstar hockey player, right? But maybe they don't want to be a hockey player. Maybe they want to do something else. Even Brock Lesnar said, "I don't expect my kids to be wrestlers or hunters. I'm simply telling them you have to work for a living. I'm not going to be there, paying for your everyday expenses. You're going to have to earn that shit, So that's the kind of, and I mean, he's right. He's right. He's teaching him certain things, but he's also teaching them, that you will have to make your own bread. You're going to have to be dependent on yourself. Don't be dependent just on me because I'm this big star, and, I can always call my Papa Brock and he's going to, give me the money or whatever. No. Because he went through the same thing. He came from he was, his father and mother were farmers in South Dakota before he moved up to Minnesota. And then he won that NCAA, the championship for wrestling. He was dirt poor. Cameron. He
Yeah.
didn't have anything, but he worked his ass off. And yeah, he got arrested. He's been through all kinds of stuff, fights and whatnot. He made mistakes, plenty of mistakes, but that's part of growing. How are you going to know what not to do if you don't experience life, if you don't make any mistakes? You're going to make mistakes. You're going to make some new mistakes, but that's part of life, right? That's part of growing and evolving. That's part of learning. You know, how are you going to learn that? Because you got some overprotective, unindulgent, what's the word? These overprotected parents.
Yeah, I know.
Telling you.
I have cousins who are like that with their kids, and I can tell already.
Oh God.
Your kids are going to get worked on when they get older. They're going to be easily manipulated because they have no idea of how the real world works. They could be like, I mean, you're raising them to believe that, I understand right and wrong, but when you keep your kids in a bubble, what happens now is when they go into the real world, right? And when they see that part of the world that you kept them away from, they won't understand what's happening, and they're going to be easily manipulated, easily conned. People are going to be able to get what the fuck they want from them and do what they want to them. So, and then life is going to hit them in a different way that another kid who has experienced life, may not have those same. They'll be like, fuck, this is bullshit, but I have family who do that to their kids. I can tell already. They want their kids to be perfect. They think it's like a perfect situation.
Oh, God.
And they're in for a rude awakening, when the kids get older. So like I said, you can tell your kids and keep your kids in a bubble, but the moment they reach a certain age and they start going to school, when they start interacting with the friends that they meet and whatever, doesn't matter what the fuck you think you told them, right? That's when their personality is gonna take over.
Yeah, they're gonna resent you. They're gonna actually resent you for keeping him in a bubble all this time, and not being, what you call it, reasonable with them. And look, I know everybody cares about their kids, man. You don't want nothing to happen to your kids. I get that. People think I don't get that. I get that. I understand that. But that's also the wrong way of doing it. Keeping him protected, trying to control everything. We talked about life is short and you can't control. We all want the best. We want them to be safe and nothing happens, but that's part of life. That's part of this whole experiment. There are no guarantees. No one can guarantee you that everything's going to go smooth. There's no guarantees. But that doesn't mean you should live in fear. That doesn't mean that they shouldn't enjoy life, that they shouldn't find out on their own what life is all about. Learning good, bad, ugly, shady, all of the above, right? Learning from these life experiences. And the best way they're going to learn that is by you not keeping him in the bubble. Sure, you give him good advice, like you gave to your niece a good advice, right? Don't talk to strangers and this and that, right? You gave her, like one time you told me, right? You gave her good advice and all that. But at the end of the day, they have to go out there and they have to, meet friends and learn about friendships and betrayals and all that stuff, right? On their own way. They have to learn that. So that way they can be prepared for adultship when they become an adult, when they, move out of the nest and they start having their own life. And I just think that this is a conversation I had with my brother today. I was sitting with my brother and Moses when we were talking about this, and he agrees to a certain extent, but there's always going to be those parents out there who feel overprotective. I want Johnny to be a greatest scholar ever, and he's not going to party. He's not going to go anywhere till he's 18, till he reaches the age of reason. And even then, I will want to know where he's at all times. And they're like, those are the kind of like overprotective assholes, What are you going to do? Put like a GPS implant on him and follow him around?
They can do that.
You know what I mean? But I mean, hypothetically, I'm speaking. But there's parents like that. They do exist. they're so overprotective that they actually they would like try to keep track. They would make phone calls, call somebody in a college dorm. Where's Johnny? Is Johnny here? Johnny there? Have you seen Johnny? Right? Like they would actually pay like a private detective to go to the college campus just to keep an eye on their kid. Those are those spoiled, wealthy, rich people, right? I want to see how Johnny's doing. Right? I'm just making AKA Johnny. Could be Higgy Me Jiggy. Doesn't matter. But actually, these things happen more than people would think. Believe it or not, there's a lot of overprotection, and kids don't like that, man. They want to be free. I mean, they love you. Listen, you're always gonna love your mother, no matter what, right, Cameron? No matter what.
Yep.
You're always gonna love your brother, no matter what. But it's important for parents to understand that it's not about that. It's not about whether they love you or don't love you. Of course they love you. It's in their blood. It's in their DNA. They're always going to love you. You gave birth to them. You raised them. It's about you respecting their life. This is their life. You need to respect that. Okay? And they're discovering their life and what they want and what they like. This is their journey. This is their this is what they want. These are their interests. This is who they want to be. This is what they love. This is their passion. The word I'm looking for, passion, right? Everyone has a passion for something. And you shouldn't be in the way of their passion, whatever that passion is. Maybe they don't want to be doctors. Maybe they don't want to be lawyers. Maybe they hate that shit. Maybe they want to be park ranger. And maybe for some of these parents are like, no. Our family will not be known that one of ours is park ranger. All of us were lawyers or whatever, or doctors, right? So they want you to keep that dynasty. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So they don't want you to be a park ranger. But the kid's like, no, I want to be a park ranger. I love nature. I don't want to be a shyster lawyer. But you're going to make so much money. I said, I don't give a shit about money. I'll be happy with whatever it is that I make being a fucking park ranger, right? But these are these yappy parents that are out there, and they do exist, man. And they want to respect what their kids want, only what they want them to be. Well, you just told me you have a relatives, right? Or is it your cousin or somebody?
Yeah, cousins. Yeah.
Yeah. Same thing, right? They want them to. Well, like you said, they're gonna have a rude awakening once they start resenting them, you know.
I have a cousin that does that.
Really? I mean, I'm sure everybody does, man. Everybody. I mean, this is very common, and I don't think people realize that, and not many people talk about this. Like, I don't say, "Oh, this kid's crazy," or "This kid this," or "This kid that." Who raised the kid? Who are the parents? No one seems to ask that question, right, Cameron? They always like to. Label these kids as crazy or mentally unstable or this or that. Well, it's like, who raised them? Who gave birth to it? It didn't just fall out of the sky or from another membrane of a different dimension. Who raised the kid? Who is responsible for his, childhood? And what kind of childhood did it have? Who is responsible for this? Why is he such a mess? Why is he in the situation that he's in? So people are always asking the wrong questions, Cameron. And I've noticed this about a lot of these situations in the past and all these crazy events that have happened. They're always asking the wrong questions. No one's asking the right questions,
That's true. Yeah.
People don't just wake up. People don't just wake up and do something crazy. Something leads to that for a long period of time. Something builds up to that for very long periods of time. But nobody wants to ask the question, well, who is responsible for that? And I hate to point the fingers, and I know people are not going to like this on this podcast, but parents or lack of parents not being there.
Yep, that's true.
So, but it is what it is. So let's shift the gears to let's see what's going on the chat room over here.
I'm playing Valhalla. I didn't see it. So what's the conversation now? TLOU, the Last of Us, or
The Last of Us.
Oh,
well,
by the way, you seen what I sent you earlier today when Sony bought 33% of FromSoft, so they own 33% of the Elden Ring rights now, and I guess Demon Souls moving forward.
So Demon Souls, we're gonna see plenty of Demon Souls with super photorealistic graphics, man. It's coming. It's gonna be great.
But I think I don't know. At least for me, I kind of got the feeling that FromSoft, Elden Ring and all that, they kind of favored Sony over Xbox.
They did, even with the Dark Souls, with the PlayStation 3, Dark Souls 3, man, it was so successful. Yeah.
So I'm not surprised, but I mean that's good. This is what I tell people. See, Sony is not worried about buying all these companies. They're acquiring quality companies. Like when I told my friend this, and he's a huge FromSoft guy, and he says that's good. Like he thinks Elden Ring and Demon Souls and those Souls games, they're like the epitome of gaming, that the best of the best. So and there's lots of fans who think like that too. Like those Soul games are the best games ever. And Sony recognized that FromSoft, they make these quality games that everybody wants. So, now they're a huge they're a third of the ownership for the company. So that's great for PlayStation players, I guess, down the line.
To be honest, actually, go ahead, Brendan. You're gonna say something. Go ahead.
No, I was gonna say that's a good idea. I like they're putting money in getting games.
Yeah, good quality games. They're not just buying a company just for having it.
To me, honestly, and I'm going to say something that probably my Xbox fanboys will not like, but that's okay. Here's the news flash to my Xbox fanboys. Sony, it's not in competition with Microsoft. They're not in competition with Nintendo. At this point, they're not in competition with anyone. They're just doing their thing right now.
Yeah.
And they're sitting pretty. And I think a lot of people are having a difficult time hearing this. But it's the truth. I've been looking at this whole thing. Maybe back in the days in the early 2000s, they were in competition with, Dreamcast, Nintendo 64, and the Xbox, the Xbox 360. Sure, you could say PS3 in the early days was in a competition with a successful 360. But right now, no, they're not in competition with Microsoft, and Microsoft is not in competition with anyone. They're just doing a service. They're living off of service, pretty much, which is the Game Pass. That's all. And I think this is what bothers the Xbox fanboys, is because they know what I'm saying here is true. Because right now Sony doesn't have to. They made so much money off of the PlayStation 5 and PlayStation 4 Pro and PlayStation VR and all of these exclusive games that honestly, they're good. Their stock market, their investors, they're sitting pretty.
Yeah.
And they're not wasting money like Microsoft, 70 billion here, 20 billion there. Like they're throwing like a candy, like a cheap candy or something. Sony's smart with their money, And this is the rude awakening that the Xbox fanboys are having with their Xbox Series X. That's why you can find it now. You can easily get the Xbox Series X because, first of all, the question is, why would you need it? And this is a legitimate question. Why would I need Xbox Series X if I can put on a 3070 and play all those games there? Or even with a laptop, with a semi-decent laptop, 3050, 3060, right, Ti, or 3050 Ti, or what have you, 3060 Super mobile chip. I can enjoy those games. People are going to say, yeah, but there's a Dolby Vision, Dolby Atmos, and 120 hertz. Really? You're going to buy Xbox Series X because of a Dolby Vision and Dolby Atmos? I really feel sorry for you. If that's the reason you're buying a console, then you're in the wrong. Then you're not a gamer, dude. Then you should stick to movies and just focus on being a movie file. Just watching on that like on Dolby Vision movies. Just watch movies. I would never just buy a console because of a Dolby Vision or Dolby Atmos. We buy consoles because of the exclusive games that they have. And that's why I always bought a console, because there was something exclusive on that console that the other console didn't have. And you look at the Xbox Series X this year, they've got nothing. I mean, there's that's some weird ass, alien game, which I'm going to rent just to see how bad it is.
What's game?
Yeah, the Scrub or whatever the fuck called Crumbs or.
Oh God, oh hell, Nope, I'm not getting that.
I mean, it's a weird ass game. It's really weird. So I personally don't see anything or any reason to even bother purchasing a Series X this year, because what are you going to play? Third-party games. This is why Sony is still on top of their game. Even right now, a day after tomorrow, they got an exclusive. Yes, I know it's a reboot, reboot of the original one, but it doesn't matter. It's still exclusive, and it's still exclusive only to the PlayStation.
Yeah.
Same thing with Ragnarok. People say, but you can also play it on a PC. Well, is that a bad thing or a good thing? No, it's a good thing. Okay. But can you play it on the Xbox Game Pass? No. Okay. I rest my case. So what do you need to do? You need to sign up for PlayStation to play it. Yeah. Look, the problem with these Xbox fanboys, they're always trying to find an excuse to defend their beloved brand. Their beloved, purchasing the beloved brand. Now, I used to like Xbox back in the days, during the 360 era and all that. But something changed, man. Something drastically changed, where it's just a service now. They're only focused on service.
Greedy.
And they don't even have that many good games, man. I was looking at some, I don't know, car wash or whatever, pressure wash. And
it's pressure washing simulator.
2 Point Campus, and they got some bizarre indie games. There's at least like 20% are like some bizarre mobile indie games. I could, to be honest with you, could care less. And I'm like, well, what exactly do you have? Where's Metal Gear? Where's Silent Hill? Where's all these other games? From the past. I don't see them.
Probably money problems.
And so what exactly are you going to play this holiday season on the Xbox?
Nothing.
Third-party games?
Sure.
I can play that anywhere. Well, you can play Call of Duty. You can play it with a Dolby Vision. Here we go again, Dolby Vision. Yeah, but it's a Dolby Vision looks much better. As if they can tell a difference between if I put a Dolby Vision Call of Duty on left side and HDR Call of Duty on the right side. And I tell them, I don't tell them which side it's on, but I ask them, hey, which one's Dolby Vision, which one's HDR? You know what they're going to say? You know what they're going to say, Cameron? They can't tell.
Yeah.
So this is just justification excuse that they have. You tell me, you have Xbox. Cameron has Xbox Series X. I know this for a fact. People out there are wondering. He showed it to me. He, as a matter of fact, used What was that? Like a jacket? You put a little jacket
Yeah, I used
over
my niece's first baby jacket to cover it because it's like a teddy bear jacket, right? So when you put the jacket on her, it makes her look like a teddy bear. The hoodie has the face of a bear. So I wasn't playing my Xbox, so I was like, well, if it's just sitting there, and anybody who has an Xbox, they know that the top of the Xbox is where it vents, right? The heat from. So I said,
Yeah.
if it's just sitting there all this time, I don't want the fucking dust to be able to in and piling up there. So I need to cover it up. So I was like, well, I looked on Amazon and they actually do sell covers, but then I remembered I still have my niece's first ever winter jacket. So I'm like, let me take the jacket and I'm gonna put the Xbox inside it because remember my niece this was the jacket when she was like 6 months old, so the jacket's very small. So I'm like,
Uh,
I'll put the Xbox inside it, and then I'll pull the hoodie over the top of the Xbox. So now when you look at it, the Xbox, it looks like a little teddy bear, but it's actually the Xbox inside the jacket. I sent you the video. You could show her if sometimes. I don't care if you want to show her, but yeah, it's
yeah.
inside there, and the Xbox is protected. It's like brand new. It's To be honest with you, I think I've only played 2 games on it since I bought it, and I bought that Xbox day one launch. The only 2 games I played was I played the Hellblade. I beat it
Which was
four
good.
times. Yeah, I beat it 4 times on the Series X, and I played the Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order, right?
Yeah.
And then I liked them so much that I was like, "Fuck it, I got to go platinum these games." I went and I bought them on the PlayStation 5, and I got the platinum. But since then, I've never played the Xbox. And I told you, I said it many times. I have 3 years of Game Pass, and
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
for the last year and a half, it's been wasted. I haven't even turned it on one time because I have no interest in playing the games that I see on there. They're not my cup of a tea,
And honestly, Cameron, people ask me, "Oh, but you can play Flight Simulator." I said, "Excuse me, I can play it on a PC."
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
And why would I play it on the Xbox, Cameron, when I can play it on my PC with a 3080 virtual reality? You tell me, where should I play it? On the Xbox or on a PC with a virtual reality, right? I'll play it where's the best experience. So what I'm trying to say is this, Cameron. Find me a game that says you got to play it on a console. You can't play it on a PC. It's only on a console. Is there any Xbox game, Cameron, that it's only on a console? Like you gotta put the disc inside, or you have to download it from the marketplace, but it's only on a console. Meaning you gotta have a console to play this freaking game. Are there any? No, zero.
Yeah, you
Right?
see,
They don't exist.
like my reasoning when I bought the Series X is I always knew that me personally, I am never going to build a gaming PC. It's just not my thing. So I figured, you know what? If the Xbox can do 80% or 85% of what a high-end gaming PC can do, then I'm happy. So that's why I bought the Xbox. But then I realized once I owned it that hey man, the type of games that Xbox has so far are not really my cup of tea, right? Because remember I told you before I got the PS5, I hadn't played on a console since 2001, right? So I didn't know, but
Yeah,
so and then I found myself playing. I'm like, holy fuck! All the games that I want to play seem to be on the Sony platform, right? So I'm like, well, I'm still thinking like I'm not going to get rid of my Xbox because I'm like, well, maybe down the line, they're going to make a game. They're going to have Hellblade 2 maybe down the line, and
yeah. Keep it for
that,
that reason.
and then
Yeah,
I'll play it, right? And I still tell myself, the price you pay for an Xbox, you're not going to be able to build a gaming PC for the same type of money, for the same. But my problem is not that the Xbox can't play the games; it's the quality, the type of games that are on
exactly.
Xbox. I don't give a fuck about these games, like I don't give a shit about Halo or Call of Duty. Those are not my type of games, right? So I know
Yeah,
I'm never gonna play those games anyways, right? So like my type of
yeah. And
games
we're
are
not saying that that the console is not powerful. Sure, it
yeah,
has a juice, but what's the point of that juice if you're not taking advantage of it, right? For certain exclusive games that are only available on that console. Go ahead. Sorry.
yeah, exactly. I agree with you exactly, 100%. and that's what I'm saying. Like I think it's nothing to do with the power of the Xbox. It's just the type of games that it has on there. To me, are not
Two-point
really.
campus.
Yeah, they're not really getting me motivated to want to play the game. Like I
Yeah,
don't. And that might just be me. Like another person who plays Xbox, they might be like, oh, I don't give a shit about those type of games that you had that you want to play. Like you may say you don't like Spider-Man, those type of games,
yeah.
but those are the type of games that I'm looking for. Miles Morales, Spider-Man, God of War, Uncharted. These are the type of games that I care for. And when I got this Series X, I realized they don't have they don't have any of these games. You know, and my
Even
cousin,
that match point, that tennis game. You saw that live stream. It was like a couple of weeks ago.
yeah,
I was trying to get into my Xbox. Like I was okay. Let me at least try it. Let me turn it on. Maybe I'll find something, right?
yeah,
So I was playing match point. Couldn't get into it. Then after match point, there was this other game where you're like traveling and called Road 69 or something, and it's kind of like a boring game. You're just asking questions, running around. I don't even know what the fuck you're doing in the game. And then there was 2-point campus. I couldn't even go. I couldn't even pass through the opening scene. I deleted the game.
yeah.
No, actually, I tried it on the cloud as I couldn't get into it. There was really nothing there. There was a Quake, but I can play Quake on my mobile, on my freaking Fold Z3. And I can play on the calculator. I can play Quake too. You know what I mean? So what is there? People say about Flight Simulator. I said, why would I play Flight Simulator on the Xbox when I can play it on a virtual reality on a PC and feel like Maverick Tom Cruise inside the cockpit of the F-18? So where should I play it? Dolby Vision, television, or inside virtual reality world to feel like a fucking Maverick? I can play a music of Top Gun soundtrack and
Yeah,
have the
yeah.
whole Top Gun experience, right?
Yeah, no
So
doubt
why the
about it.
fuck?
If you
Yeah,
got a good
yeah,
PC, then there's no point in even
yeah,
getting an Xbox ever. It
exactly.
doesn't make sense.
So now, if Flight Simulator was exclusive to the Xbox only, and they had a VR headset that was exclusive to the Xbox only, well, okay, now we're talking, right? But since Phil Spencer, he says that, oh, the Xbox owners are not looking for the VR. Like he said openly that, oh, he was almost talking like they're like his army or something. Like, oh, my Xbox fans, they don't want that. In those kind of words, like they're not carving for virtual reality. We're more about play anywhere, everywhere you want to play. Play anywhere, everywhere. Cross-play, this, and that, like a service. And I'm like, okay, so then what the fuck is the point of you promoting your goddamn console? Sorry for the language. If you don't need it. This is a legitimate question now, Cameron. So then what the fuck is the point? Sorry for the language, guys. I really am. But I'm trying to understand this guy, Phil Spencer. So what's the point, dude? If I was Bill Gates, undercover boss, and I came in and I started asking questions, this guy, Phil Spencer. But sir, well, what's the purpose then of wasting money building these consoles? Series X, Series S. For whom are you making these consoles? I can just buy a laptop and play this shit. I can just buy a phone and play it on a cloud. I can play a flight simulator on a freaking cloud. So what's the point of building this Series X if there are no exclusive only on that console type of games? So it defeats the purpose of anyone bothering to buy it. But I like people to have choice. Well, fuck the choice. That's not exclusive. Exclusive is when you don't have a fucking choice.
Yeah.
That's why they call it exclusive. Like you have to fucking pay to get inside to experience this shit, right? You can't experience it anywhere else.
Yeah.
And I think Phil Spencer has killed the Xbox exclusives. I'll just fucking say it right now. Phil Spencer has murdered the exclusives on the Xbox by this whole Game Pass, play it anywhere bullshit. What do you guys think? What do you think, Cameron?
Yeah, they've actually done a study on that, and I don't remember which YouTube spoke about it, but they said the thing with Game Pass now, it may sound good to the average person. Oh yeah, I get to pay a membership and I get to play all the games for free, and it is good. But for the corporation, it's not a good thing because think about it this way. Now,
Yeah.
whenever a game comes on Xbox people, Xbox players have gotten accustomed to playing games on Game Pass. Meaning, so if Xbox was to invest money in making a good high-end game, people aren't going to want to buy it because they've gotten used to getting it for free on Game Pass, right? Sony
Yeah.
players, they're the opposite. Sony players have said we don't give a fuck. We don't mind spending money for the AAA games, right? If anything, even today, a lot of PlayStation people will tell you, I don't give a shit about PS Plus. I want to buy the game, right? And that's just that's two different types of mentality. So when a game comes on PlayStation, like God of War, day one, everybody's gonna buy it. Everybody who has a PlayStation is gonna buy it. And Sony knows this. Whereas Xbox, what they're finding is if a game comes out on Xbox, people are not going to buy it. They're waiting for the game to become free on Game Pass because they've gotten used to Game Pass being. They've gotten used to Xbox being a place where they get to play the game for free, whereas Sony, they see it as a platform where we will spend that $70 American for that AAA game, and what's happening is now is developers are saying, well, if we're not getting the money, then why the fuck are we going to make a high end game if we have to give it to these people for free, right?
Exactly.
Sony doesn't have that problem because they're like, oh fuck, we made God of War. The problem we're going to have is keeping the fucking shelves filled with enough copies to supply everybody, right?
Mm.
That's the
And they're giving you the reason to
Yeah.
buy a PlayStation.
Yeah.
And what's the reason? The reason is to have these exclusive games that you can only experience and that you've been experiencing only on Sony. Oh, also, let me answer this question to Janice, asking about what happens to Gamefly physical media if there's no more physical media, if they stop production of physical media. Well, then they go out of business. It's just as simple as that. Sadly, it's simple as that. They will go out of business because that would be it. Unless they make some kind of a partnership with Microsoft and Sony. But why would Microsoft and Sony do that? They'll have their own service for that kind of stuff. So yeah, if there's no more physical media, sadly, Gamefly, it's rest in peace. I mean, that's it. Pretty much. I mean, I think this is the best answer I can give you. I mean,
But
yeah, common sense, you know.
Yeah, that's to be expected. Yeah, exactly. Right?
Yeah.
But that's not only going to be Gamefly. That's going to be EB Games,
Everything.
GameStop,
GameStop,
Walmart,
yeah.
Best Buy, everybody. They're not going to be able to sell it anymore.
Yeah.
Right. So
Yeah.
that's to be expected. And I'm pretty sure Sony and Xbox, they both want that to happen one day. Right, because
Yeah.
they make more money. They don't make money when there's fucking physical version. Because then
And it will happen, Cameron. It will happen. Sadly, it will happen. You know, it's that monster coming down the hill, man. It's just gonna happen. It's just it's not a matter of if, it's a matter of when. It'll happen. There's no question about that. But if it happens, well, guess what? I will adapt to it. And I'm just gonna adapt to whatever the services they have, and I'll choose the best service. You know, we'll just have to adapt to whatever the new gaming thing is. Just like we're going to have to face the fact and adapt to cloud gaming only. And it's going to happen once this cycle of consoles has been done with by 2030, 2031. I kept saying this like a prophet, even though I'm not a prophet, but I've been saying it like some kind of a gaming prophet. When that day comes, I'll get used to it, just like I'm used to now watching stuff on demand. You know, you get used to it. Right now, you're not used to it, but it'll become like a second nature. You'll get used to it. You know, so yeah, that's just common sense. You know, that's inevitable. You can't stop that. That's just evolution. You know, like Blockbuster video stores. I used to be a manager at the Blockbuster video store in early 2000. And, you know, we used to watch these movies early on. They would send us the copy 2 weeks in advance. Like the studios would send us the copies of a movie. Like I saw The Last Samurai like 3 weeks before the release date. and you get to watch it, and you put in the CD jackets, all that, and you have to put it out there on the shelves. And I used to watch all these movies, Fast and the Furious on the DVD. I got it like a month. We got it month in advance from Universal to watch it before it even was available for purchase. So, look, I love physical media. Even Cameron, even Brandon, all of us, we love physical media. We're collectors. Don't get us. I always tell people, don't think for one second that we don't like our physical media. We do. But the difference is, me and Cameron, we know the difference between others and me and Cameron is, me and Cameron, we can accept the evolution of something that's going to evolve in the future. And we understand that. We accept that. While the others, Cameron, they can't do that because they're so, married to their physical media,
Yeah.
That's pretty much it. It is what it is. You can't change it. And I think we talked about this, me and you, like in a great lengths on that one live stream, right? 8 hours. We talked about like, hey, like PlayStation Now, we're like shifting through the games back and forth, and we were trying to tell people that this video, put it in a time capsule, and 12 years from now, when you watch this video in a time capsule, you're gonna say, "Wow, these guys were right." But why they were right? They were right because they used logic. We're thinking logically, evolution. Even I knew that the Blockbuster video was going to be closed down.
Yeah.
People saying, "Oh, it's a Viacom. It's a CBS, Paramount." Here we go again. Fuck, I used to work for Paramount, I guess you could say. So, because it was owned by that CBS, Viacom, Paramount. So you could say that I used to work for them. But even I knew when the Netflix came along on 2008, I knew. I said, yeah, this is going to change everything, dude. People were laughing in 2008 when I was watching on demand some movies on Netflix, on Xbox 360. The application was first introduced with an update of 2008 November. There was an update that had Netflix, and Xbox 360 was the very first console, I don't know if you guys remember this, to have the Netflix available in there. And everyone was laughing. Oh, come on, man. This is a joke. I like to go to Blockbuster and pick up my movies. And long and behold, by 2012, 2013, the Blockbuster videos just gone. Yeah.
What's the fucked up thing is that Blockbuster didn't take the initiative and said, you know what? Maybe we should think about putting all of our movies digitally and renting it to people on some kind of a web. They should have been doing what Netflix is doing. They had all the movies, they had all the rights. It's just they just wanted to stick with their physical discs. And even in the movie world, physical discs are starting to become a rarity. Like companies don't want to make it because it's more expensive. And they can make more money having their movies on a subscription service. Like Disney. So. Don't be surprised if even going to the store and buying your favorite 4K movie becomes a thing of the past soon.
I was at the Best Buy today when I was driving home around 7:30, and I was I think I texted you or something on the Instagram. I couldn't believe, actually. I'm just like, wow. I went in there. I said to one of the clerks in the blue shirt, I said, "Is this all you guys have for the new releases?" He says, "Yep, that's pretty much it." Like this little dude, I had to look for it, Cameron. I says, I refuse to believe this. I says, I won't believe this. Are you telling me the truth? I said, yes. It's not a joke. He says, only this little tiny section here behind the next to the counter right here, where the like what you call it, like the candy is and all that shit. This is the little section of 4K Blu-rays. I was like, this is sad. So I said, well, why is this happening? He says, well, not many people are buying it. So people are buying it online and they're getting it through different means, but we don't have like a healthy stock of 4K Blu-ray movies like we used to. We only have like a short little section of 4K Blu-ray movies. I said, what are you trying to tell me? He says, well, we're expecting that the physical media pretty much is going to die out by like a 2026 or something like that. Like where you're still going to be able to see it, but like little by little,
I wouldn't be surprised if it dies out before then.
Yeah, probably. But he says he's giving like a rough,
generous,
genuine, expectation, but it might happen before then. Because even right now, like I said, he still might live on a physical media through Gamefly or other mom and pop shops that maybe they could save that. But you have to remember, Cameron, we're talking huge corporations. These huge corporations, they don't care about a mom and pop shop and all these little, independent.
They don't give a fuck about them. Fuck them. That's what they'll say.
Yeah. So they look at it as like, what our investors think, and our investors are saying that, let's not waste money on hiring people to build these physical media discs and covers and all that shit and jackets for the physical media disc. Let's just go ahead and let's just do all of this shit on our servers on a demand where we can control everything. And look at Disney; they're putting everything on there, everything. HBO Max, Paramount, they're putting all of their freaking libraries, everything in there, because they want you to go there, right? Because they can control it, and it's less money that they have to put to create these discs. It's costing them a lot of money. You know that to distribute. Sure. Yeah, people. Again, something to see. This is people don't think about this shit, Cameron. I know, I know, but they don't think about shit. It's like these discs are not that easy to produce. It costs money, dude. All that shit. It's a labor intensive. It costs money to produce that shit. And studio's gonna say, fuck that. We're gonna cut corners. We're gonna save money. Put that shit on demand. People watching this shit on their fucking phones anyway. That's what they're gonna say. This is why it's gonna die out. Unfortunately, but not right away. Not right. Everybody relax. I don't want you guys to have a panic attacks or anxiety. Relax. Relax. Now, Cameron, you love physical media, right? I love it. You're a collector. I'm a collector. And we don't want people to think that we're like shitting on physical media. We're not. But we're just being realistic. We're being genuinely realistic about this whole situation. All right. So that's all, I love my physical media. As a matter of fact, I was watching 2001 Space Odyssey on my, I finally fired up my Oppo, connected my Oppo UDP 203 on my C2 OLED. And I know people probably want me to do a video on that. And don't worry, I will do a video on it because I think people would, you know what? It's still great, man. The Oppo UDP 203 is still great. And I'll probably maybe do a video on it, maybe a long video to show you some of the features, Cameron, that even you would benefit, man, big time, especially on that setup you have with a home theater and all that. And I got to tell you, that bitrate on that physical media disc, man, Cameron, that native bitrate, nothing can change that, Cameron. But yeah, sure, bitrates are pretty freaking awesome on today's streaming services, but that recorded bitrate on that disc, Cameron, that lossless sound, to me, that's, whoa, that's the value. See that value of the physical media. It's forever. Even after the apocalypse, right? That movie you have, you can play it. You just need a generator or some kind of electricity, solar panel, and you can watch that, So we love physical media, and you have a bunch of physical media, right, Cameron?
Yeah.
You got a shitload of movies, man. Shitload of movies.
Tons.
Yeah. And even Marco. Where's Marco? I remember Marco showing I think Marco's going to be the saddest one of all of us when they, because you know how much he loves his physical media, right, Marco?
Yeah.
And when he sees that there's no more physical media, then he's going to be very sad. But even when there's no more physical media, there's going to be other outlets out there, like eBay and some other places where you'll be able still to buy it.
The problem is going to be just going forward with newer movies that are coming out. You won't be able to buy them, right? But yeah, they're gonna be like a collector's market for sure.
Right? It'll be GameFly.
Well,
Well,
Gamefly
that too.
they're not gonna have the new ones because if the companies are no longer making them,
I'm at the movies, Sony.
Yeah. Yeah, but like what Cameron is saying, Brendan, is once the studios say no more, then all the new movies gonna go directly to digital and on demand. So, like, imagine if Paramount Studios says that's it, we're not doing physical media anymore. You're not gonna see a Top Gun Maverick, and thank God that they didn't say that. There is Top Gun Maverick coming November 1st on the physical media, and that's definitely what I want. I want to own that movie in the best possible bit rate. So when I'm watching it on my projector, I know I'm getting the best possible bit rate on that IMAX enhanced, version. But what we're saying here is this is inevitable. It's going to happen. It's not a matter of if, it's just when. It's just when. Like everything else, people were laughing at me when I was saying this about a blockbuster. Say, "Oh, come on, this huge, a franchise blockbuster video store. Get out of here." Well, look at Toys R Us. It was a big franchise, but it got closed down, right?
Yeah.
Look at Circuit City. It was pretty big. It got shut down, closed down. It got bought by Target. I don't know how. I mean, not Target. The Tiger Direct. I'm sorry. Tiger Direct, but how well are they doing, right? Not that well. That's just business. That's just part of evolution of businesses and technology. If someone told me that I would have a device that has a 7-inch screen called phone and that I can actually talk to people all over the world, I don't need a ham radio or a CB station, and I can actually broadcast this like a radio, I would tell you, hey, man, what kind of mushrooms did you, like 25 years ago, right? I would say, what kind of mushrooms did you eat? But, hey, that's part of life. That's part of evolution of technology. Yeah.
Well, it's just like cars, right? You're not going to be able to. I think Canada, they're trying to get rid of electric cars completely. I seen in California, they're by 20. I think they said 2036. They're banning all gas powered cars, right? So electric cars are the future. So it's. I mean, the world is changing. That's how it is for everything. So a lot of these changes, nobody should be surprised. Is probably the word. It's just it's where the market is going.
Yeah.
And even me, like I'll be honest with you, even though I think I have, I don't know, there was a point where I had every single 4K movie released. Now I find myself not even willing to fucking put on the 4K. I just like, oh, fuck it. If I can fucking download the 4K version and fucking play it off of my TV directly, because my TV can play native 4K directly off of a stick, I'll just do that. It's so much easier than having to fucking put the disc in and turn on the system.
Exactly.
I'm like, fuck it now.
And look how many movies you can put and compress.
Yeah.
Even with the MP4 files, with the H.265. Look how many movies you can put on a hard drive. I mean, solid state drive, and take it with you. You don't know how many bags you would need just to bring like 30 movies with you on physical media, right?
Yeah. I got a 2 terabyte external drive, a little, like the little portable ones.
Yeah.
I plug it into my PC, and I can transfer like a 60, 80 gig file onto it, and I plug it into my TV, and my TV will play it directly without any compression, So with HDR and everything. So I'm like, fuck. I gotta if I gotta do it, if I have the disc, I have to put the disc in. I gotta turn on the system. I gotta turn on the control. I gotta turn on the fucking the 4K player and all this shit. And I'm like, fuck it, turn on the woofer. So nowadays I'm like, fuck it. This way I just fucking, the hard drive was always plugged into the TV, so I got like fucking hundreds of movies on there. It's just so much more easier for me, So I'm like, fuck it. I'll just do it this way. And I've gotten adapted to it, right? It's same like the PlayStation.
Exactly.
When you have all these fucking movies on these games on your account or Xbox, you don't want to go fucking looking for a fucking disc and take it out and put it into the fucking Xbox. And then download it. Fuck, you already got the games on your account. It's just click, 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 and the game is ready to go, digitally. So
Yeah.
I've
Now people
adapted it.
ask me like, what's certain, like, I was telling you, like, people ask me about what about, like, what's the exception with the Last of Us Part One? I said you don't understand. I want to collect that.
Yeah,
I want to
exactly.
keep it.
Different. I don't plan to play it. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I want to keep that. So after 20 years from now, I can tell people, hey, I have this, deluxe edition. I haven't unpacked it. I haven't used it. And there's a digital code in there, but the digital code doesn't work. However, I have this physical media that I put in there as well that I rented from Gamefly that I bought dirt cheap. So this physical media that's inside this digital deluxe edition, it's a very limited item that you're gonna have a hard time finding somewhere else, and that's gonna have a huge value, right? If you choose to sell it, you can bid on that, right?
Yeah.
I've seen a guy bid Guns of the Patriots, and I bought it for $120. It was actually going for like 135, but he says, fuck it, final price. He says, I'm tired, 120, I'll sell it to you for 120. Like, he was in a hurry. And I was only because he was in a hurry. He could have probably gotten $200 if he had waited for that PlayStation 3 special limited edition with a booklet inside and everything of the Guns of the Patriots that was released in 2008,
Yeah.
June 8th. Year on a PlayStation 3. So to me, that's worth it, $120. And just like 25 years from now, me selling this deluxe edition with this PlayStation 5 disc put inside the case of the digital deluxe edition to somebody, that's going to be worth $200, Cameron.
Yeah.
Because they love that game so much, and it meant so much to them that that's the difference between people buying stuff and then being a collector. Collector has a sentimental value
That's right.
about certain things. So when a collector is buying something from you, he doesn't give a shit about money. He wants that. He's a collector. So that's why people sell these things, because they know that there's going to be a collector out there who wants that. Last of Us Deluxe Edition from September 2nd
Yeah.
of
Launch day.
2022.
Copy. Yeah. Launch day
Yeah.
copy.
Yes, launch day copy. So that's being a collector. And so to me, that's why I'm actually, doing this with The Last of Us Part 1 and with Ragnarok, because of that. You know what I mean? For that reason. Yeah. Yes, I know I could buy it digitally, but why would I do that? I want to have something to be like what's the word? Souvenir. Almost like a souvenir, collector item souvenir. Same thing with the York, what you call that?
Jotnar edition.
Yeah. Of God of War. Same thing.
Yeah.
And I'll put, if I can find it, I'll put the physical media of the rental inside. I'll put it in there to sweeten up the deal, I mean, that you can raise the price even higher, right? For bidding. Like 20 years from now. So there's that too. Yeah. Let's see. Janice says she prefers physical media. Oh, Steven, take care, man. You leaving? Okay, brother.
All right. Later.
Thank you. Yeah. Thank you, Steve. And also, just to let you know, Steve, don't worry about that video. That video has been removed. The one that I made about you, it was only for the members, but that is removed. I removed that, because past is the past, and that's it. And I removed that shit. You know which one I'm talking about, Cameron?
Yeah.
Yeah, I removed that shit. And so that's honored. That's taken care of. At least I have the honor to do that, Cameron. Unlike some other individual out there
Yeah.
who's probably watching this.
100%.
Probably it's right here, right now, watching this. But we're just gonna kind of speak in innuendos. Yeah. I think I saw something on his shorts videos, something about a horse, talking horse, new channel. I was like, look, I said to people, I love horses, and I used to watch that TV show. So I'm not being offended if somebody says that your name is I identified with Mr. Ed, talking horse TV show. I said, well, 1950s. And I'm like, I'm not being offended. Like, if some people think that I'm offended by that, well, then that's like saying, hey, like me calling you a Sony fanboy, right? You're not going to get offended, but it's like me calling you a Sony fanboy, right? So or you being a The Last of Us fan. So I tell people, I used to watch that TV show. I used to watch it with my grandpa back in the days on that little tube television. So, hey, but again, people out there that they just don't get it, Cameron. You know what I mean? They're just trying anything and everything to see if it's gonna crawl under my skin, and nothing crawls under my skin.
The only problem with that is that nobody's watching his channel, so it's not bringing any traffic in your direction of people thinking, who the fuck's this horse guy? That's the problem. That's the only thing. If he was like, if people were like, it's not like like back and forth, like when people were when what's his name, Mischief, and the other guy Ackman were making videos about quantum, then it sent a lot of traffic towards quantum's page.
Exactly.
But
exactly.
in this case, it's, nobody's watching the videos, so
yeah.
He's probably watching his videos over and over.
But, yeah, and the fact that he would like make up some stuff about Holly, which is not true. I clicked on that link, not because I wanted to check his channel, but because I wanted to see if he's telling the truth or if he's just BSing. And long and behold, I clicked on it. I checked it twice. I'll check it again. While I was singing and mocking him and the way he sings, he says that Holly said that she said she wants his channel to be shut down and blocked and banned.
So what's wrong with that?
I couldn't hear it. I didn't hear her say anything about that.
Even if she said that, she's allowed to. Rich Review Tech has said, "Fuck, they should take down this guy's channel." So many like different people.
Yeah,
that's just your opinion, right? So that's why this is why this guy doesn't. I don't think he understands how a lot of things in the world works. And
I don't think so either, man. He's a lost cause, man. No, you're right. You're right. He's a lost cause. He doesn't get it that, dude.
Half the things that he thinks is not allowed, he doesn't understand how it works. This is the problem with Anthony.
Even me saying, Paramount suck my, what? Yes, limited ads on that video. Sure, it's not the advertisers will not be happy.
Yeah,
but I'm within my rights to say that.
It's not illegal for you to say that. Exactly.
Yeah, I don't have to love Paramount. I don't work for them. They're not putting food on my table. It's called freedom of speech. I can say it. Sure, some people are not going to like it because of Top Gun Maverick movie, but I don't care. That's how I feel. I felt like that they were using double standards on me. Now, granted, I should have been professional. I agree on that. Sure, of course. Yeah, but so what? I said it. What's going to happen? They're going to put a fucking handcuffs on me, take me to the jail. That I said, hey, Paramount suck my, what?
Yeah.
But see, he, again, this individual, it's living in a different. He lives in his own world, whatever that world is. Like he doesn't understand how the real life works. I was like, dude, you can't shit on everybody and then expect that you can just like be on a social media and no one's gonna shit on you. If that's all you do, then go do that. But the problem is he's not even good at drama. Like, you want to be like Quantum, at least try to put some smart effort into it. If you want to be like Quantum, if you want to be like drama queen, at least be good at it, right? Put some energy into it. But he's not even good at that shit either, you know. He says something, what was that on that shorts video, that again, he made 2 videos about Holly, saying like, this is what happens. He put a Brian James photo, meaning that's me, Brian James, and then this is the look of the failure, and then he says something about Holly down on the bottom, you know. I forgot what it was, like Holly's my whatever lady on the side or whatever, you know, all this shit. And there's like, I see 2 likes, him and whatever, and himself. And then 60 views, probably himself clicking on it.
But what's
Like,
funny
dude,
is none of his supporters or like the people who were behind him are commenting whatsoever anymore. None of them. All the people who were there in the beginning when he started the drama with you, none of them are there. Have you noticed? Like they've all just left him.
now, I mean, granted, like, I mean, Steve is here. Now, granted, stuff I said about Steve, you know, and my apologies, and I apologize to him. You know, it was wrong for me to say that. Who am I to call him the creep? But honestly, I was just doing it to roast you. I was really never doing it to tell people, oh, you were the creep. If I wanted to do that, I would make a public video and put it out there, but I never did. I was just goofing around, you know, and all that. And granted, some of the stuff I said to Steven, it wasn't my finest moment. I can admit, you know, I can admit and say that I was wrong, and I'll say it publicly here. I was wrong, Steve, since you're here, that I accused you of that, you know, porn links bots. That was not you. That was from somewhere else. Those bots were coming to everyone's channel. Could have been from China, most likely China, because you know how China loves us much, and Russia, sure. So, and I was wrong about you that I said that, you know, and my sincere apology about that. You know what I mean? But this guy can't even apologize. Even when I gave him a chance to come to apologize, he wouldn't come in to apologize. Like, he spat and shat and pissed all over everybody. All over everybody. He was pissing.
I'm just
because
glad
he
that
did.
everybody's seen it. Everybody recognized it now.
Yeah.
He's lost everybody who was originally supporting him and listening to him. Now they're none of them are, and I'm not even talking about the people that like Holly and Katie and like Steven, and even like Deacon. I'm talking about the people that none of us know that were on his channel, maybe his own countrymen who were like listening to him, like who used to follow him. And then they used to tell him, like, they were giving him warnings, like, listen, we don't care about this thing you have with this guy 4K. Go back to your own, what you were doing about your life and your thing. And he didn't listen to them. He just kept telling them, bro, he just kept telling them, this is my channel, stay for the ride or leave. So they all pretty much said, fuck, if that's your attitude, then fuck you. I'm leaving too.
Yeah.
And I see it now when I look at the comments, that the people who are commenting, there's none of them.
He even made a video about the pizza, waiting for a pizza. And I'm looking at him, man, and he's got this red shirt and all that mustard. And I looked at it because people still send me feeds about him. And I was like, all right, for the amusement, let me check it out. And it's just sad, man. You're looking at this guy, and he's just like growing bigger and bigger and
man,
bigger.
Like, I'm seeing him. It looks like he fucking gained like 20 fucking pounds in the last month alone. Like, what the fuck's going on with this guy? Like,
yeah, dude. Like
that is not healthy in any way.
Forget about me, dude. Like take care of yourself at least. You know what I mean? But like the fact that he's so focused on me, and he just can't let it go because he thinks I'm this narcissist. He thinks I'm this mastermind, that I have, that I'm the secret society, that I have. He thinks I'm like that 33-degree Freemason, that I have my hands into everything.
Yeah.
Which is not. Yeah, that's what he thinks in his mind, that I'm this narcissist. But he's the one who contradicts himself. He's the one who lied to his own audience. He lost his own subscribers because he lied to them. And they said, when he made that 37 video apology, he says this was all part of the script. And they said to him, what? You wasted our time for 5 months, 6 months? 6 months of our time you wasted? This is all script? And they're like, screw you. We thought you were really having a fight with this guy. But now you're telling us, nah, this is all part of a script. And now he's saying that it's not. That because, he lost his subscribers. Now he's saying that it's not. I mean, he is fascinating to look at him, to just analyze him from afar. It's like some kind of like a super hog, like a super ginger hog, like that's modified in Area 51, and they're just monitoring this super hog. It just keeps growing bigger and bigger, and is having all this behavior. And it's like a lab, like a super hog lab or some shit, and they're testing. I'm just roasting him, okay, guys? I'm not discriminating. I know he's a human being. I know he's not a hog. I'm simply saying that his behavior is not a behavior of a 35 or 36-year-old man. That's not a behavior of a 36-year-old adult. This is a behavior of, what was that you said? But not even a child. This is like I said, something from a different universe, from a different planet, from a different dimension. And they're looking at it in Area 51 underground. They're keeping it there, and they're just studying it, secret, top secret. And they're just trying to figure out, look, what the hell is this thing? How do we back engineer this thing to be like us, like humans? Because people tell me they watched that 6-hour live stream, and somebody said to me, I felt bad for Cameron. Where did he get the energy? I said, Cameron's a strong guy. He can go on. But says, how was he able to contain himself to endure the 6 hours of his nonsense? I said, well, Cameron's strong-minded, and he can endure. But of course you were annoyed. I know you were annoyed by his 6 hours of nonsense crap that he was spitting. Everybody was, not just you, everyone. Because even after I said, yes, it's me, it's all my fault. Are you happy? But the thing is, like there was no end with him on that. And now he's going after Holly and all that, and it's just come on, man. Leave Holly alone. You know what I mean? Holly just wants to have a good time, come here and maybe play some Black Ops with me, and that's it. But he just is. If it's not Holly, then it's Emma, and if it's not Emma, then it's gonna be somebody else that's in my circle, my friend circle, right? He's gonna reach out to everybody, anybody. He's probably, he'd probably call your mom. He's that type of a guy. Oh, yeah. Hello, this is Ginger Hog. I just want to file a complaint about your son. He watches porn, and he's a grown-ass man. Some shit like that.
My mom would look at it by the looks of it. You should start looking at it too, because you don't look pretty healthy, my friend.
It's just, look, man, I don't know, man. It's just, look, man, I'm just going to do what George Collins said. Get a front row seat and enjoy the freak show. That's a thing.
It's clear to me he's going through, like right now, some depression. I'm pretty sure he's realizing that.
He's isolated.
Yeah,
he's isolated.
everybody's
Yeah.
leaving him. Nobody's listening to him. So I'm not surprised. That's why I say the worst thing you can do right now to him is to not pay any attention to him. Just leave him alone, and I guarantee you, like that's bothering him the most. That you're not giving him any attention.
Yeah.
So that's what I would say.
But see, why can't he like even yesterday and today? Like, why can't you let it go? Look at my videos. I'm focusing on something else. But you look at him. What is he doing? He's just constantly, since he doesn't have nothing on me, now he's going after Holly, and then after Steve, and then after this, and after you. He's just constantly going after everybody, making videos about everybody. And he's got nothing. Nothing else. Like, what about that telescope, dude? Like, why don't you work on that telescope? I'm pretty sure your subscribers want to see how that shit works. Maybe they want to buy a telescope. Maybe they never had a telescope and they're interested in getting one. Why don't you do it? Why don't you make that video? Why don't you focus on that? Instead of making a fool out of yourself, a grown-ass man making a fool out of himself. Didn't he say he's going to work on the Unreal Engine 5? He's going to do a podcast with a Katie. He's going to do this. He's going to do that. What happened? He's going to do a podcast with the Mitch. The Mitch never showed up. How about you do a podcast with Philatio? Do a podcast, please. I'll pay to watch that shit, to see what the fuck this guy has to say. Do something, man. Like, do your trip to Bristol. Why don't you talk about London, the history of London, the history of United Kingdom, and the monarchs and the royals? Why don't you talk about, the Oliver Cromwell, and talk about how he was this general of, like, George Washington, like, who saved United Kingdom from these monarchs for a little bit, because I don't know if you know the story about the Cromwell, Oliver Cromwell, and how important he was for the English, especially for the Parliament. He was all about the people and the Parliament. He actually sentenced to death one of the kings, Charles I, by decapitating him, by killing him, decapitating him, death sentence, because of the fact that he posed the treason to the Parliament and the British people back then. This is in 1600s. Like, why don't you talk about the history of Great Britain? Why don't you do something else, dude? Like the books you read or something. Set some sort of goals or something else, man. Something else productive. Instead of just making these stupid videos about me and about my friends that nobody gets.
He's too infatuated by you and what's happening that he's willing. He's that's all he sees. Right now he's blind. He's tunnel blind. He will not change. He's fucked, essentially.
Yeah. Hey, Holly, I see you, Holly. There she is. How are you, Holly? Good morning.
Oh, it's morning for her?
Yeah, it's for Holly, yeah. She just came in. Holly said, I said something that was insensitive on the podcast. I'm sorry, I shouldn't have said it. Well, I don't know what you said. I mean, what did you exactly say? Because I looked at it and I didn't hear it. That's called the freedom of speech. Even if you said, I would like to see his channel get banned.
You're allowed to say that. There's nothing wrong with that.
You're allowed to say that. Who is he? Is he king, the monarch king, like the Charles the First?
How many fucking times did Rich say that about Quantum, and it never happened, right? He said it fucking. I want to see Quantum's channel fucking be taken down, be gone. He said it hundreds of times, but it doesn't mean it's gonna happen, right?
So I just don't. Hey, Adam's here too. What's up, Adam? How are you, man? How you doing, brother? Yeah, I mean, why can't you just fucking let it go, dude? You know what I mean? Like, why constantly he's looking for something? He's probably going to say something about this too, about this podcast. Oh, hello, guys and gals. It's the year of our Lord. Like, Jesus Christ, man. Like, and then who's gonna care? No one really cares, dude. Who's watching your videos? Nobody. Um, you're the laughing stock that failed to apologize. You're the laughing stock that lied to his own subscribers. You're the laughing stock that contradicts themselves. I mean, you're the laughing stock of all the laughing stocks. So I mean, unless he wants to beat a dead horse, like I said, me as Mr. Ed, like he should at least have a decency to give a proper burial to that horse instead of beating that dead horse constantly, man. It's fucking tragic and sad, you know. At least give that dead horse a proper burial and move on, dude. Move on, you know. Are you trucking? That's good, man. Yeah, we've been here, Joe jacking for 3 hours and 9 minutes on this podcast. We talked about a bunch of stuff. We talked about a Paramount Studios and this whole double standards that I had with them. We talked about the cancer, which is a touchy subject. We talked about working out, staying healthy. We talked about the Gamefly and why people should think about getting the Gamefly. We talked about the physical media. We talked about the parent thing. And yes, of course, we have to include this super hog, ginger hog, you know, specimen in there as well.
Did you ever did you ever ask Adam if he ever used Gamefly? Because he's in America too.
Yeah, Adam, I don't know if you ever thought about maybe using a Gamefly, because I saved tons of money by using a Gamefly. And you're in California, and they have a warehouse in California. You probably would get those games even faster and quicker, like probably a day and a half or something like that, because you're right there.
Do they do PC games too, or just the consoles?
Just the consoles, yeah.
Okay, yeah, he has PS5 and Series.
Yeah, yeah, he's got consoles. Yeah, he could do that. Yeah, yeah. So I don't know if he does, but if you do, Adam, I would watch that video that I made, 19-minute video. Check it out. There's a bunch of stuff in there that I talk about the Gamefly and why it's a money saver, dude. We all can save money, and I'm telling you, Gamefly definitely had saved me a bunch of money for sure, 100%. Yeah. So, so we talked about a bunch of stuff. Me and Cameron, as always. Early on, we were talking about who was it here? Rob. Actually, Rob. It's from Washington State. Cameron. He lives in Washington State and in Olympia. And yeah. And early, I was asking him on about the Sasquatches. Like, what do you think? You know, because the story always comes up about Sasquatches, Bigfoot, in Washington State. And I asked him, have you ever been camping out there in the woods in the Washington State? You know, next to the Mount St. Helen. And did you see anything, like anything unusual, experienced anything unusual? And he says he never like experienced anything unusual, like that he like maybe seen something or heard something, but he did encounter this huge footstep of something that looks like a humanoid, like foot, like very large footprint. You know what I mean? Footprint on the ground, like, and it's freaking huge. And well, he's here. I mean, he's actually. No, we're not on Discord. We're just we're on the phone. I'm on the phone actually, and but we're gonna wrap it up pretty soon here too as well, Adam, because I wasn't even planning on doing it this long. We started like 10 o'clock, and now it's like 1:30 almost. So it's like 3 hours and a half. But I know you can listen to it while you're trucking. 3.5 hours to you, that's moving on to another state. Yeah. Holly, you got nothing to apologize. Holly, don't apologize. You got nothing to apologize. You didn't do nothing wrong. Okay, don't apologize to this super hog. Yeah, because that he feeds off of that. You shouldn't apologize because you got nothing to apologize. That's like me apologizing for having a freedom of speech. If you apologize to him, then Oliver Cromwell will rise out of his grave and he's going to be very mad at you, Holly. Don't apologize to this wannabe monarch, royal kingdom, failed king of nothing. Yeah, how's that? Ginger Hog, king of nothing. I like that. I feel like Oliver Cromwell right now. Like I'm like the general of the British Army, and I'm the leader of the Parliament, and I'm saying in a House of Commons, in a House of Lords, I'm saying that this failed king, Ginger Hog, king of nothing, don't apologize to this king of nothing, Holly, please. For the love of Oliver Cromwell, all right, do not apologize to this king of nothing. No, I mean that's actually from Metallica, by the way. It's a Metallica song. Where's your king? Where's your crown, king? Nothing. Oh God. So I'm sure he's going to make some more shorts videos about this conversation. But I don't know why you're apologizing, Holly. But hey, that's it's your choice. I'm just letting you know, and I'm sure Cameron here is going to let you know that you're apologizing for nothing. Practically, you have nothing to apologize. Because But anyway, yeah. But what exactly did you say? Can you say it on here? Like, because I looked at that video and I don't know what you said. I looked at a timestamp. He put a timestamp, and I couldn't find it. I just heard myself singing, and then I was looking at the timestamp, and I couldn't find anything that was.
If she thinks that because she said she would like to see his channel taken down, that's not bad. We've said worse things. There's people in the chat who write worse things than that. That's not legal. I mean, that's not illegal to do that.
That's your opinion. That's your freedom of speech. You have that, right? I'm pretty sure in England you have that freedom of speech. You can say that. So I just don't know what exactly did you say, because I looked through that. I was like, let's see if he's bluffing or if he's calling it BS. And I clicked on that link and I was looking and I couldn't find anything that she said that was like something I would have to condemn, right? Or something like that. But there was nothing for me to condemn because if she said, okay, I would like to see his channel be banned, that's your opinion. You can say that. You're not going to go to jail for saying that. And you sure as hell don't have to apologize to that. Unless you want to talk to him again or make peace with him, that's a different story. I'm not here to tell you who to talk, who not to talk. I'm simply telling you from my perspective, you have nothing to apologize for. Because if you're going to apologize to people like this constantly, then people are going to look at that as weakness. And they're going to look at you as weak person, Holly. And I don't want you to... I mean, look, it's your life. I'm not telling another grown woman telling you what to do, but I'm simply saying my advice is he's going to look at that as weakness. And he's going to look at it as like, I can always work this woman. That's what he does. He's a narcissist. That's what a narcissist does. That's all he does. Live and breathe thinking about how to manipulate people, how to mess around with people. That's all he does. That's all he does all day long. He has no life. His life, it's me, the whole thing. The true, I'm going to call myself, actually, I should have called myself Oliver Cromwell, but I can't do that. Otherwise, the entire population of Great Britain would be looking for me with forks and the swords and shit like that. That's their hero. I could never use that. But I feel like almost like Oliver Cromwell right now. Like he's this failed king of nothing, and I am the voice of reason in the parliament, and everybody in the parliament is agreeing with me. And that's what happened to the first king, Charles I, in 1600s. They decapitated his head right in the middle of the parliament to prove the point that this kind of a behavior of this kind of treasonous king we will not tolerate. Do you know this history, Cameron? I mean, are you familiar? I don't know if you are. Or
No, I'm not that good.
But anyway, you can look it up. They even made a movie about it. Richard Harris played the Oliver Cromwell. So he's like is equal to George Washington, to what George Washington is to the United States. That's what Oliver Cromwell was to the British people. And he was trying to keep the parliament free from kings. He despised the kings because he saw that these kings were abusing their power, because they think that the only authority they have to answer to was the God, not to people. And Oliver Cromwell was furious about that shit, that this king thinks that he's above everybody, that he can do whatever he wants to do. And so there was a civil war actually that happened in 1600s in England, from Manchester to Bristol to London. I mean, there was a split between the king people and the parliament of people that was led by what's his name, Oliver Cromwell, in 1600s. So see, I mean, I know it's like a analogy. It's a weird ass analogy I'm using here, but I'm not trying to compare myself to Oliver Cromwell. No, am I trying to compare him to the King Charles I? But he is acting like he's the king. He's acting like he's like above everybody. He has that mentality, you know what I mean? Which is narcissistic mentality. He's the narcissist in a way. All right, Holly said that I said a suicidal joke regarding to my wrists. That's what I'm apologizing for. No, that's just a saying. That's like me saying, oh my God, if you keep singing again, I'm going to fucking hang myself.
Yeah.
That's what's nothing wrong with that. So don't bow down to this manipulator, want to be a king of nothing. See, that's what I was saying, Holly. I mean, you're a grown adult. I'm not going to tell a grown adult mother what to do, but I'm kind of just putting in advice. This is my advice. Like, don't bow down to this guy. Don't apologize to this. Don't give him the pleasure. All right, he doesn't deserve it, because you didn't do nothing wrong. Because if you apologize to him, then you're not free, Holly. Then you're living in some kind of a fear of what I can say. I don't give a shit. I said to Paramount to suck my, you know what? I don't give a shit. That's how I felt, because they use double standards on me. Other videos are being played, but mine cannot. That's double standard. And I told them to suck my, you know what? That's just me. See, maybe me and Cameron, maybe we are just built differently, Cameron.
Yeah.
Maybe that's what it is. We come from a different generation, and we just don't give a fuck, I don't give a shit.
The only person who gives a shit is YouTube, and they didn't do nothing because they didn't see it as a problem. So that's you shouldn't concern yourself with what Anthony says, right? And like I said, and everybody's seen it, and even people would have commented on his page, on your page, if it was a big deal. It's not a big deal. He's just looking for anything that anybody says to try to use it to create a rift. So don't listen to the guy. I'm telling you, the worst thing you can do right now, if you really want to bother Anthony or make him go crazy, is do not even acknowledge his existence. Just fucking don't even listen to him. Don't even do nothing. And I guarantee you That alone is driving him crazy. That nobody's paying attention to him right now.
Yeah. I mean, I look. He's taking the stuff you say, Holly, out of context. Okay, you are not telling people go ahead and slit your wrist. You are not like inspiring people to commit suicide or something. So that's a different story. You were simply saying, "Oh my God, I don't want to listen to this guy singing. If he sings again, I'm going to cut my wrists." That's a joke. You were just saying, "I'm so sick and tired of listening to this guy." That's that's not like you saying, "I'm going to go slit my wrists." So I can't believe that you guys are falling for this guy's manipulations.
Yeah,
And both
I know.
me and Cameron are looking at this. I mean, look, again, it's your life. Do what you want to do. I'm not here to tell you what to do, but I'm simply saying I can't believe that you guys are falling for this guy manipulation. I will never fall for his bullshit. He fell for my bullshit. I made him pay. I made a bunch of money out of him. Okay. And I made him come to my podcast, my live stream, and he came in twice to pay for it. And I still blocked his ass as Dylan. And thank you for letting us know that it was him. So, but hey, look, that's what you guys want to do. That's what you guys want to do.
And that's what he's hoping. He's hoping that you guys are going to acknowledge him and be scared of him, and then that way he can use it against you somehow, right? So
yeah, but I just don't know, like, why you guys are falling for his bullshit. You know what I mean? Yeah. Well, again, like, I don't really care. Just mentioning his even in innuendo, it's honestly just gives you the headaches. It's just because it's beyond. Yeah, I'll use the word retarded. He's just beyond retarded. I don't give a fuck. What's he gonna do? Arrest me, ban my channel because I use the word retarded? Well, then ban me. Let's see. I have a right to freedom of speech to use that word. I don't give a fuck if some people don't like it, but the guy is beyond retarded. Beyond retarded. Yeah, he can actually cut this bit and put on his little short video and put on the loop where it says beyond retarded. And while he's putting that on the loop, also he can suck my dick at the same time. Yeah. As much I fucking give a shit about that. Guys, you're not free if you're constantly being worried about what you're fucking saying, especially for some asshole who's acting like he's the King Charles I or some shit, or King George, whatever the second. I mean, just don't get manipulated by this nobody. By
exactly.
this,
I don't understand why people even give him a time of day. To be honest with you,
this fucking nobody.
Like, exactly. Who the fuck is he? He's nothing.
Exactly. He's a fucking nobody. I just don't know. Well, if you're not scared of him, Holly, then why you apologizing? Why why don't you stand up for yourself and say fuck this guy?
Tell him to go
fuck yourself. Go fuck yourself.
Go fuck yourself. Nobody gives a fuck.
Yeah. That's it. But it's just me. I'm not telling you what to do. I mean, you are me. But I'm simply saying I would tell the guy to go suck my dick. Like I told Paramount Studios, go suck my dick. And what happened? Did they ban me? No. Was that video removed? No. And I said it clearly, go suck my dick. Do you know why? Because Paramount Studios is not paying for my bills. Paramount Studios is not putting food on my table, so I don't give a fuck. I mean, they screwed me over. They blocked my 3 videos. So I said, go suck my dick. Whatever. That's it. I don't care. Maybe I should have handled it professionally. Sure. Yeah. But then again, I'm thinking to myself, these assholes screwed me over. They've, my 3 videos, even though I paid for the movie and said nothing bad about them, and then they screwed me over like this. Double standards. So I had no problem saying, go suck my dick, And that's just me. That's just me. That's just me.
Yeah.
Oh, get me in trouble? Yeah, that video definitely is going to... Listen, the only way that YouTube's going to get me in trouble if I recorded his private conversation and put it without his consent, or if I put some transcript of something and without your consent. That's why I deleted those videos, because of that. That's the only way he can get me in trouble. But me using a freedom of speech and saying, go suck my dick, the only thing that's going to happen is my videos will be demonetized or limited ads, because the sponsors don't want to put, ads on where somebody's saying, go suck my dick, but they're not going to remove my videos. They're not going to ban me or anything like that, because I have a right to say it, and my videos are for the adults only. Okay, so it's only going to show up on the adult algorithm. Okay, so it's not going to show up on like Nickelodeon or some shit like that. It's going to show up on the adults channels, like Joe Rogan and others and stuff like that. But anyway, I'm just kind of like blown away by the fact that you guys are bowing down to this nobody, this whatever ginger hog of nothing. If it was somebody, okay, fine. Like if it was like a quantum apotheosis, all right, fuck it, bring it on, let's go. But no, this guy's a nobody, and it's like nothing. I definitely would not apologize to his sorry ass. No.
Yep.
Well, this fucker cannot apologize to everybody else. Yeah. So anyway, I guess we can wrap it up. I guess with 3 hours and 30 minutes. I think we're good here, Cameron. 3.5 hours. I think we've talked about a lot of stuff. You guys can watch this later on. 3.5 hours. We had a bunch of different topics on this one. And don't forget, guys, tomorrow, Friday, which is already Thursday right now, tomorrow, Friday, we're going to be doing the very first live stream walkthrough of The Last of Us, Part 1. And yes, you guys finally going to get to see Mr. Ed Talking Horse face on Friday, because I know how much they miss my face. So I'll be back on that live stream on Friday. But for now, I hope you guys enjoy this lazy Wednesday night podcast we did for 3 hours and 30 minutes. So it's as long as the Joe Rogan podcast, maybe longer. Thank you all for stopping by. And look, Holly, I'm not here telling you what to do. I mean, you can do anything you want to do. We're just giving you some advice. That's all. I mean, I don't care if you talk to him or don't. That doesn't really bother me. You can do. You're free to do what you want to do. I'm just simply, kind of like surprised that you would actually bow down to this guy. But anyway, that's your choice. So I'm going to see you guys on Friday. And Adam, love you, brother. Adam, make sure you rewind this and watch this from the beginning. Cameron, brother, always a pleasure. Always a pleasure. And Brendan, I think he fell asleep, but loving having Brendan on here. We'll try to bring Mamba. I'll have to dig him up from my basement. He's still in there. And then we'll have Mamba come in on Friday as well. So, no, Mamba is not in my basement. Mamba, it's not in my basement, in case people are wondering. No, he's not living in my basement. Okay. Mamba, it's somewhere out there in Northeast. Okay. And I'll see you guys Friday. As a matter of fact, hold on. Let me go down the basement. Let me wake up Mamba. Mamba, come on, man. Get up. Up. Let's go. Out of the basement, bro. Let's go. All right, Cameron. I don't know if you're still here.
Yeah, I am.
Yeah.
Right, here.
So, all right, brother. You too. Take care. Take care, guys. Thank you, everybody. Cheers. See you Friday.